guys, it's Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Whether this is your first time here or if you have been here before, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Your support really means the world to me. As you can see by the title, this reading today is all about your current and future love life. And I do want to say we're getting pretty in depth today because I want this to be able to resonate with anybody that's watching, no matter what phase you are in your love life. So in each group that we have today, we're actually going to be looking at an energy for if you are single and there's like nobody on your mind, an energy for if you are currently in a relationship or like kind of already dealing with somebody, and then also an energy for if you are at the end of a cycle. So no matter where you find yourself on those like three levels, each group will talk about all three. So that way, because I want it to be specific for everyone that's watching this, and I feel like not everyone is in the same phase in their love life. So that's why we're breaking it down. It's going to be like kind of like mini readings inside of each group, but then we will look at the overall of like what is coming into the future. So I guess in a way, if you want to like mix and match readings, that's totally fine too. Like if you want to watch like one like part of one where it's like the mini reading and then watch the rest of something else, for the future aspect of it, that's fine too. I think for today you can kind of do whatever you want when you are watching this, but that's kind of how I'm laying it out. So we're going to be looking at your current energy no matter what's going on, and then we'll see what is coming in for the future. But yeah, there are 4 groups for you guys to choose from. Each group has a different tarot deck, different crystal, and a different card that came out as I shuffled. So there are multiple ways for you to be drawn to your groups. And like I said, you could be drawn to multiple groups because there could be multiple messages for you today. But let me go ahead and show you these options up close one by one. Group 1, this is the Star Spinner Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this like purple or like a red agate. I see purple, but at the store they were like, it's red. I'm like, what? But I don't know. It's this purplish, brownish, reddish agate. And your card is the High Priestess. Group 2, this is the Anime Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this Zebra Jasper. And your card is the Page of Cups. Group 3, this is a pink Rider-Waite Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this Rose Quartz. And your card is the Hanged Man with the keywords pause, surrender, letting go, new perspective, enlightenment, viewing things different than before, deep insight, sacrifice, change, and release. Group 4, this is the Mystic Mondays Tarot. This is what the back looks like. And your crystal is this Amazonite. And your card is the Three of Wands. Okay, you guys, here are all of your options laid out for you side by side. Take all the time you need to pick a group, and like I said, you can watch these however you like, and you can watch as many as you want. I'm going to get started with group number 1. Hey guys, if you chose this High Priestess with this agate and the Star Spinner Tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 1. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Like I said earlier, whether this is your first time here or if you have been here before, thank you so much for all of the support. So let me talk about our breakdown today. We're going to be looking at your current and future love life. So now with this deck right here, we're going to be looking at the current energies in your love life. This is where we will branch out into 3 groups. And then after the current energy, we're going to be looking at the future energy with the deck that you guys chose. And then at the very end, I have my Hidden Truth Oracle deck today. So at the very end, if you have somebody, if you have somebody on your mind and you want like direct messages from them, we'll channel with this at the very end of this reading. And actually, I guess you could, yeah. Okay, so let's get right into it because there is a lot to talk about today. And I will break down the groups because say like if you just want to watch like if you're single and you don't really want to watch the middle and the ending for like other people, other people's energies, then definitely I'm gonna put timestamps for everything. We're really breaking it down today, so that way if you just want to watch like one of the three groups and you want to jump straight into this, I will have the timestamp in the description below, so that way you can go ahead and jump around as you need to. So let's get into it. I recently got this deck and I'm very excited about it because this is my first circular tarot deck. So I thought it was very interesting and I really like it. It like expands on the sides. So it's like you see more on the sides and they did a really good job of the expansion. It looks very original to the original artwork. It's just a little hard to shuffle. Okay. So what we're gonna do, like I said, break it down into three groups. So first, we're gonna start off with the first energy. If you are single and you have been single, that's gonna be this energy right here. Now, if you're dealing with somebody, if you're in a relationship, you're in some kind of a connection, so you would consider yourself like in the middle of something, you will be right here in the middle. And then if you feel like you just got out of a connection, or you're like at the end of a cycle, or you know, like you're kind of at the end, then we're gonna put you right here. So pretty much the beginning, the middle, and end of a cycle. So that's how I am going to pull the cards. So let's get right into it. Oh my gosh, see, this is what I mean. It's so tough to shuffle this deck. It's like just like hard to hold on to it. And I always have long nails. That's just such a me thing. So it's like, it's just so tough. Okay, I hope that didn't ruin my flowers. Okay. Wait, did I just make that worse? Okay, I'm gonna leave it before I make it worse. Oh wait, I think it was this. Okay, so if you are in the beginning of a connection, so you're single, or maybe you're just meeting somebody, or you're just like at the very beginning, right? So like single, you're at the very start of something. There's not a lot going on in your love life. Can we get one card for those who are in the beginning of a cycle, or if they are currently single? Wow, Four of Swords. Perfect. That's like actually so perfect for the beginning of a cycle. Now, for those that are in the middle of a relationship or dealing with somebody, King of Pentacles, that's interesting. That's a card I showed as my intro card, or not intro, that's the card I just gave the example of for this deck. Now, for those of you that are at the end of a cycle, just coming out of a relationship, or have been, maybe like a breakup, coming out of a separation, or you're at the end of a cycle in your connection. Ooh, 10 of Swords. Okay. Now, I actually have a second deck just to clarify the cards. Let's clarify the Four of Swords for the beginning here, or people that are single. Let's clarify the Four of Swords. And a few fell on the ground. Okay, let's try that again. Let's clarify the Four of Swords for people who are in the beginning of a connection. Oh wow, okay, so we have the Magician and we have the King of Swords coming out together. I'll also view that as the Queen of Swords as well. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles here. We can also view this as the Queen of Pentacles too. Oh, we have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. That's actually a really great combination. And then for those of you that are at the end of a cycle, or you know your relationship's coming to an end, or you're recently broken up, or recently out of a connection, let's clarify the Ten of Swords. Hold on, this fell onto me. Okay, we have the Star, and we have the Six of Swords. Okay. Ace of Crystals, bottom of the deck. Okay. All right, like I said, I'm gonna start here, go down the line, and then if you want to just skip to whichever group you feel like you're a part of, check out the timestamps, but feel free to watch all of them if you want to. So, for those of you who are in the very beginning of a cycle, so you're single, and that's what I'm getting here. I just feel like you're single. It does not feel like you recently met somebody, and also it just feels like you're very single. So I think that's the vibe here for this part. With this Four of Swords, With the Four of Swords here, it really feels like you're in a period of rest. So that's why it feels like for those of you who are single, you're just single. Like, I don't think you're really thinking about anybody right now. I think you're very at peace in life, especially because the Four of Swords, this period of rest, it's very peaceful. We don't have a lot of anxiety. We're not overthinking. There's no restlessness. We're not like chasing anything. It feels very simple, very peaceful. You're very much like at rest when it comes to your love life. And with this King or Queen of Swords that we see here, it feels like you know exactly what you want, which is another reason you're staying patient and you're not rushing to just get into a relationship with somebody. I think you're taking your time and you like know what you want. Maybe it's like something new, maybe you've healed recently and you kind of like have a better idea of the relationships that you want and the connections that you want, but it feels like you're kind of just like doing your own thing. You're probably not looking for things in love, you're not really chasing it, don't really have anyone on your mind. And you're not settling for less than you want in a connection. And I love that because it feels like you're very independent, very self-sufficient, and you're just kind of doing your thing. And you're like, if I find somebody, then I'm open to a connection. I'm open to being in a relationship with somebody, but I'm not going to settle for less than I deserve. So that's what I'm sensing with that. And I love the Magician is here because even this makes me feel like you know exactly what you want and the type of connections you're seeking. I also feel like you could be manifesting somebody, or maybe you've been single for a while and slowly the gears are kind of turning to where you're like, okay, like maybe I'll like put myself out there a little bit more for some of you. But with the Magician, for some of you, you could be taking action, but it feels small and it feels new. Even if you are taking action in your love life or putting yourself out there or like dating again, it feels like after a period of rest. So it feels very new and like, and not something that you have been doing. And for some of you, maybe you're not even doing that. This could just be that you're really just manifesting and you kind of know exactly what you want in a connection, but you're not necessarily chasing it. And I think what's so interesting with this and the way the Magician is like this and the things are on top of her hand, it feels like a it feels like you're just kind of standing in your power and you're waiting for something to come to you. Because normally with the Magician, like we see the tools out on a desk or like a table, and that makes me feel like, okay, now you're getting to work. You're like using your hands, you're getting yourself to work, you're gonna do something yourself. But with this, it almost feels like this person, which is you're kind of just sitting in your power and you're kind of just doing your own thing. And I think you have faith within the universe that like the universe will bring somebody to you, or like you will meet somebody halfway. And I think you're in a very like content, like you're in a very comfortable energy. You're very like happy, and I think you just have a lot of faith that like the universe will bring somebody to you at the right time and that you don't necessarily have to chase. And I think like you're just happy being single. You're very there's a lot of peace here. You're very peaceful in regards to being single. You don't feel the need to date. You don't feel the need to chase people around. So it feels very nice, very healed, very harmonious energy for if you are single, and that is kind of your vibe. So let's move on to if you are in the middle of a connection or you're actually like in a relationship with somebody or dealing with somebody right now. I actually really love this energy. It feels very positive. With this being the King or Queen of Pentacles, it feels like your connection with this person is very stable, very sturdy. There's long-term potential here with your person, with your connection and your situation. And even if you have not been with this person for a long time, with the Eight of Swords in the reverse, whether this is a new person, whether you've been with them for a while, this feels like you have no restrictions placed on yourself. And the Eight of Swords, it talks about anxiety, overthinking, feeling stuck, feeling trapped, questioning things, and it's just like this mucky energy. But with this, it feels like you're finally able to like let your guard down in life. Like this person and this connection is stable, it's healthy, there's long-term potential, and now you can kind of like let your walls down. Like you're not anxious, you're not overthinking it, you're not worried, you don't feel stuck in a situation. Like it feels like a very healthy dynamic between you and your partner, and you can kind of just like let your walls down and like breathe, and like there's no tension and there's no like burdens, and it just feels like if you are in a relationship with somebody, it feels like you're in a very good dynamic with somebody, and it's like there really is no stress and no holding back, and you feel very good. It feels very healthy if you are dealing with somebody. I do want to say, for whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship with somebody, these are very specific energies. So if right away, if you feel like neither of these sound like you, then definitely check out a different group. And now, for those of you that are coming out of a cycle, there could have been some kind of a painful ending. And it does feel like it's over, and it feels like there's not much, like, I think you have accepted that it's finally done. I don't know why I say finally. So maybe for some of you, you really tried to make it work for a long time, and spirit is like, yeah, like, it's done. There's not much more you can do about it now. And like, you kind of have to move on from it. But it definitely feels like it's done. Like, this connection or this relationship you were dealing with is over, and it does feel like you are healing, which is amazing, and I'm very happy to see that. With the Six of Swords here, it does feel like you are moving forward. You're making a peaceful transition from whatever this turbulent situation was, and the fact that it's over now, you're finally able to move on from it. I also think you have like no what ifs. There's no like, going back to the scenario. There's no what ifs. It definitely feels like it's done. And for some of you, you could be moving, like literally relocating farther away from this person, or it's like if you lived with them, you're like kind of going your separate ways. But it does feel like you're moving on from this, but it seemed like it was a very painful ending with that Ten of Swords right there. But I love that the star is here too, because that also feels like you're healing, and it's giving you hope again that like you can build yourself back up, that you can find a better relationship in the future. And there's also hope that like you haven't fully lost yourself in the process, especially if it was a painful situation. I think that like you're very happy it's done. I'm getting like a sense of like, I'm so glad this is done. Like, this burden is finally off of me, and I'm so happy. And it feels like you are also finding a lot of peace in the fact that this is over. And yes, the wounds are still there, the pain is still there, but I think that like the weight has really been lifted off of you because you're not actively carrying the baggage. I think you're kind of transitioning into healing, which is, it's nicer to like not have that baggage while you're healing. And it does feel like a positive movement forward, and you do have hope that you will better yourself and life will get better, and like that you will, you will get to where you want to be. I think there's a lot of hope, and there's also a lot of determination within you as well to get to a better place in life, moving forward from whatever really hurt you this badly. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing, you guys. Okay, so that's again the beginning, the middle, the end. This is 3 different groups. This is not the same connection. Don't get that mixed up. This is 100% not overlapping in any way. These are individual energies. So that is what I'm seeing here. So let's just get right into it and look into the future. How can I? There we go. Okay, I think I like that better. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, so let's get into the deck that you guys chose now. So that is your current energy in your love life, group 1. So let's go ahead and see what is coming in. So first, let's see what's next in love. For group 1 here, what's next in love? Also, for those of you, if you are in this connection with somebody, spirit wants you to trust them, especially like if you've had it rough in the past and like maybe you have a hard time trusting people. With the Eight of Swords in the reverse, Spirit is really saying you can trust this person that you are with. You don't have to have your walls up. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to like be on guard. You don't have to walk on eggshells. And you don't have to worry that they're going to hurt you. And you don't have to worry that the past is going to repeat itself, because this feels like a new person that you are dealing with, group one, a new person in your life. So it really feels like Spirit is saying to you, hey, like enjoy it, remove those restrictions off of yourself and allow yourself to enjoy this. Allow yourself to trust this person because they are a good person. And there is long-term potential in this connection. Okay, so first let's see what's next in love for group one. What's next in love? Oh my God, that flipped off my desk. We have the Page of Wands, and that really just like came out of nowhere too. Oh, I think that, actually, let me clarify really quick. Can we clarify this Page of Wands? Let's clarify this Page of Wands, please. I love how that first card came out so fast and then the rest are taking a while. Okay, we have the page. Oh my God, another page. You have the Page of Wands and the Page of Coins. So overall, group one, in your love life, there is a shift. So no matter like what you're in right now, there is a shift to something that's a bit more fun and a bit more relaxing as well. Like there's this energy of like, okay, I can really trust where this situation is taking me. So whether you're single, I think that you're seeing signs and synchronicities, or there's some level of trust between you and the universe that like something is shifting. And I think you can probably sense it, and maybe that's another reason you're not chasing it and you're not like rushing it, because I think you can sense that maybe something is around the corner. For those of you, if you're in this connection with somebody, it does feel like you're learning to trust them, and you're learning to realize that like, okay, this is good, like this is actually taking me somewhere within this connection. Like this connection is actually going somewhere. And I also think there's a lot of fun to be had no matter where you're at, especially like if you're single. You might be kind of like feeling flirty, putting yourself out there a little bit, like you're just kind of having fun with no strings attached. Especially if you've been single for a while and you feel like, okay, maybe I just want to like go on a few dates or just like meet people and just like be casual about it. I think that like that is something that's in your favor if you want to do that. For those of you, again, if you're dealing with somebody right now, it feels like there's going to be more fun being brought into this connection within the two of you. So especially if you're still getting to know each other, or you're just kind of like having fun, it's kind of like, it's not boring. The relationship is not boring. And I think even with the Page of Coins, you're like learning to trust this person. There is more of a foundation that is being built, and you're also having fun with them at the same time. For those of you that are coming out and you're healing from something pretty painful that happened to you, you're finally feeling like yourself again. And that's what I was saying that I love with the star here, and even that Six of Swords, because it's showing me, for those of you that are, healing from a broken situation, it is showing me that you are moving forward, which is very positive, and you are healing. And this feels like you finally get that spark back. You finally feel like yourself again. You're finally, even if you're not ready to date, you're finally like feeling good after a period of pain. And even with this, it feels like you're slowly starting to put time and effort back into yourself, back into your life, and just feeling good overall within this new life that you're creating for yourself. And you're just feeling good again, and I think you're also taking your independence very seriously, and you're taking your own stability and your own foundation very seriously, for those of you who are resonating with that energy a little bit more. So next, let's see who or what is potentially coming in. Who or what is potentially coming in for group one's future love life? Who or what is coming in for group one's love life? Who or what is coming in for group one's love life? We have justice. Let me clarify this. Clarify justice for who or what is coming in. Oh, the star. Wow. There's a lot of major arcana energy here too. We have the Ten of Pentacles, bottom of the deck. Things are finally balancing out with justice here. So I think no matter what stage you're in, your life is finally balancing itself out. Now I do think for all of you, like every group here that I'm seeing, there's a lot of like signs and synchronicities that are coming in. There is something here where like the universe is sending you clues almost. And this is whether you don't have somebody, whether you're with somebody, and whether you are coming out of something. You're seeing a lot of like intuitive messages right now. You're seeing a lot of signs and synchronicity that you're on the right track and you're on the right path. And, you know, for those of you like you're with the right person right now, there's a lot of like, I don't want to say subconscious, because I almost feel like you're physically seeing signs and synchronicities that like you're on the right path in your love life. And I love the stars here because first of all, we have that out here twice, but for who or what is coming in next, there's just so much peace, and there's a lot of like fantasizing about what my life will be like. It's almost like you're thinking about, because for a lot of you, it feels like you can kind of do anything moving forward. And it feels like, especially for like these two groups, it's like, and even this, you know, especially if you're with a healthy partner and you're in a healthy dynamic, you're really thinking about like, wow, like I could actually like do really well in my love life, or like, wow, like things are actually working out really well for me, or I'm finally like finding peace and I'm happy with how things are. I'm not chasing anything, and things are kind of like happening naturally, and like things are coming to you instead of you chasing it. So it feels like a very like harmonious, peaceful energy for group one. And like you're really like planning, but also like fantasizing about how good it could be moving forward. I hope that makes sense. I feel like if you're dealing with somebody, even with this Ten of Pentacles here, that also feels like, you know, there is stability within this connection, and things are actually like working out for the long term. Maybe for some of you, if you're dealing with somebody, you could take the next step within your relationship. So maybe you're like moving in together, maybe you're getting engaged, maybe you're like committing to each other. So whatever you're doing, it feels like you're like adding one level up, like you're moving up a level, you're moving up into some kind of higher commitment, or like taking it more seriously for those of you who have somebody. And then I think for the other two groups, then this is really talking about like you making sure that you are in a good place to attract the right type of long-term relationship. It feels like for this energy, you're not there's probably not a relationship coming in, because you have to heal first. And Spirit wants you to heal. They don't want you to just jump into a relationship. And then for this, it feels like you're actually very close to finding somebody. And that's what this is, like the fantasizing, this daydreaming, the signs and synchronicities, this fun, this flirtatious energy you're kind of stepping into. I think that's really helping you like find confidence and putting yourself out there, because you gotta know that like the universe is backing you up in a way. So for those that don't have somebody right now, who is potentially coming in? So for those who are single, is there anyone potentially coming in for those who are single? For those who are single, is there potentially anybody coming in? Ooh, oh my God, okay. You have the Ace of Swords with the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. And you have the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Okay, so there are a few different messages here. For those of you who are single and you're like open to meeting somebody and you're, you know, you're in that energy, then I definitely think that there's somebody coming into your life. And I think that's also the signs and synchronicities and like you feeling like you want to put yourself out there again. I think it's all kind of going hand in hand, and the universe is like kind of getting you ready for this potential situation that could be coming in. I think this is somebody that's really smart, somebody that's really good in conversations. They're very intellectual, and I think like you would just kind of like start up a conversation with this person or somehow like start talking to them, and then you realize like, wow, like they're so fascinating, they're so interesting, you know, they're so insightful. There's something about this person's mind that you are very attracted to. They could also use like big words, and they like sound very professional when they speak, and they just sound so intelligent, and I think that's something you're really interested in. And it's like you're very attracted to that. So yeah, I do think for those of you, if you're in this energy and you're like healed, there's no baggage, there's nothing holding you back, and you're kind of just chilling, like just waiting for this next person, I definitely think something is coming in. It feels small. It doesn't feel like, you know, it's not like you're gonna get married tomorrow, but it feels like a very small energy. Like they kind of just like pop into your life for like a day, and you kind of like, who is this person? You know, it's like it's like very slow and kind of little, but it's like enough to kind of give you a spark, enough to kind of stimulate you in a way. For those of you who are, this feels like this, like right here, with the Two of Coins in the reverse and the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Spirit is really advising those of you that have just come out of a connection and that are healing. You still have wounds, you know, it feels like there's still, you're not healed yet. Maybe you're not even like 50% healed yet. Like you're starting to feel better, but Spirit is saying there's still a lot of baggage to work through. There's still a lot of open wounds to heal. And don't try to do too much, because they almost want you to take it like one step at a time for those of you that are healing, and it just feels like it's not the right time for you to, you know, jump into something new or try to date again. They really want you to heal and take your time, and don't get too burnt out. I don't know why I'm hearing it like that too. Like don't get too burnt out, and prioritize healing before you try to do something else. What's interesting is with this and this, for those of you who are in a relationship or you're with somebody and it feels good and Spirit wants you to trust them, I think you're slowly realizing like, oh my God, like I really like this person. Because especially if you kind of had your walls up at first, with this, it feels like you're realizing like, wow, like they actually check off my boxes, like, or you're realizing, wow, we're actually more compatible than I thought we were originally. And I think that's where like that partly that fantasizing energy is coming in, because I think slowly but surely you're like, wait, I actually really like this person, or wait, like I like this could really be somebody. And I feel like you catch yourself off guard, because you're like, oh, wait a second, I think I could actually like, I think this could be some, like this could go somewhere, you know, especially if you went into it without feeling that way. I think you do slowly really like fall hard for this person that you are with right now, and you realize like it feels so good, it feels natural, and it almost feels like you're gonna have a breakthrough. If you have not had that breakthrough, that like this is something special, then I think you will have that breakthrough very soon. Okay, so I do want to see what could speed up Group 1's love life. And again, I'll try to interpret for all three groups. Oh my God, this kind of just like exploded. Let's see, what could potentially speed up Group 1's love life? What could potentially speed up Group 1's love life? Whoop. Great. These colors are so pretty. I think this is only like my second time using this deck, and these, I just like forget how beautiful these pastel colors are. Chalices, is that swords? Because this is wands, so I think this would be swords. 6 of swords, 5 of swords, and the 2 of, oh, this is not the, I keep thinking this is the 2 of wands. This is 6 of wands, but because I keep thinking 2 of wands, I will, there's your intro card, by the way. I will also interpret the 2 of wands for, okay, so I feel like this is for, the 2 of wands would definitely be for those of you that are single and you're trying to speed up your love life right now. It feels like for you to put yourself out there, that is something that would really help kind of like get things started, especially if you've been single for a while and you're kind of like ready to like, you know, get into that like flirty and like fun and exciting energy again. I think spirit wants you to put yourself out there, especially if you've been in this period of rest for a long time, you know, and maybe you again kind of been to yourself and have not been dating and haven't been doing much. Then they're saying if you put yourself out there with that 2 of wands energy, then that could definitely speed things up if you want to speed things up. With this being the 6 of wands, I feel like you focusing on your craft, and I think that would be for like maybe any group, honestly. I think definitely these two. It would be like focusing on your craft and focusing on your like what you really want to be doing here on earth, and finding your confidence within yourself, because I think maybe when you find confidence, then it like kind of helps you feel better about yourself, and then you're kind of like maybe you are putting yourself out there more. So there is something about like your inner confidence needs to improve in order for you to speed up your love life in a way. But yeah, definitely for this group, putting yourself out there, and then I guess for everybody, working on your confidence. Hold on. I guess this could really help with this too, because say like if it's actually your own insecurities that is kind of like keeping you from trusting this person, and or it's like you are the reason you can't doubt this person, right? Because we keep saying that like this feels like a healthy, good person, but maybe you cannot trust them all the way, and it's something to do with you. So I think that confidence also goes for you too, because then spirit is saying, well, when you work on yourself and like work on your own confidence, then like that helps you realize that, you know, that you do deserve this and you are compatible with this person. So I think confidence is probably important for everybody here. With the 6 of swords and the 5 of swords, I think this is definitely for those of you that are hurting and that are kind of going through a bit of a separation right now, or you're moving on from somebody. This feels like for you to speed up your love life is to move on, because this is the exact same card again. The 6 of swords is coming out twice. So it feels like to really kind of have that peaceful transition. So to heal, to really walk away from what's not serving you. With that 5 of swords, I feel like that's walking away from conflict, walking away from just any kind of negativity or any people that are not serving your life and that don't deserve to be in your life, and to also like call your power back from the things that are draining you in the first place. So I think like distancing yourself and detaching from the things that are not meant for you, but also healing and finding like that peaceful transition within yourself, that is something that'll help you move on and help speeding up your love life, because then that way you're not stuck on something which would in return slow down your love life. You know what I mean? So I think for if you're hurting and if you're going through something painful, you really need to like detach and heal from that first. And I guess even from this, detaching, you know, I guess for anybody, detaching from any negativities within yourself, you know, working on your own insecurities and finding confidence, but also just walking away from negativity and being around more positive people and positive energies. I think that would overall help your mental health as well and help you move forward in life. Okay, so we looked at how your energy is shifting. We looked at what's potentially next. We looked at potentially who could be coming in if you're single. And then we also looked at what could speed up your love life. Okay, so I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about today. So let's go ahead and, I have no space on this desk. Let's go ahead and use the Hidden Truth Oracle now. So if you have somebody on your mind that you want to get direct messages from, or say if it's like somebody that's from your past, or you know, somebody that you're not necessarily dealing with anymore, or just anybody, like if you have somebody on your mind, let's see, what does this person want to say to you? So go ahead and think about them as I'm shuffling. And for group one, what does this person have to say to group one? Person group one is thinking about, what do they have to say to group one? I wish things could be different. Person on group one's mind. I can't stop thinking about you. Ooh. Now, I have no idea who this is, so... Oh, I'm afraid to contact you. Guess somebody is thinking about you, wants to talk to you. They're afraid to contact you. What does this person want to say to group one? So many things remind me of you. And bottom of the deck, it says I love you. So I think this would not be somebody you're dealing with. This is probably somebody from your past that's maybe coming through today to say these things to you, because maybe they're afraid to talk to you like in real life. So I don't know who we just channeled, but that obviously not going to be for everyone. If you don't have somebody from your past that would say these things to you, then that's probably not for you, but it may be for somebody that's watching this group. So okay, group one, that's everything for today. Thank you so much for being here. I hope like the spread made sense, even though there was a lot of going back and forth between different energies and stuff. So I hope it made sense. I hope you were able to, you know, resonate. I hope this was able to give you any messages or advice or anything that you were seeking. But thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon where the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings, and that is in the description below. So go ahead and check that out. And if you want to book a private reading with me in December, it is going to be first come, first serve, because I won't have as much time that I normally have because it's the holiday season. I am a little busier with my family and stuff this month. So yeah, first come, first serve. If you want to book a reading with me, I say email me like earlier in the month versus later on in the month. But yeah, thank you so much, you guys, for being here, and take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Page of Cups with this Zebra Jasper in the Anime Tarot, this is your group. Hello, group number 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. And whether you've been here before or if this is your first time, thank you so much for all of your support. Like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about your current and future love life. So I'm going to start off with this deck here, and this is going to show us your current energy. Then we're going to go in with this, and this is going to show us your future energy of what is potentially coming into your love life. And then we're going to go in with the Hidden Truth Oracle deck. If for some of you, if you have somebody on your mind that you want to get channeled messages from, whether this is somebody from the past or somebody in your current energy, we will get some cards from this at the very end. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, I did mention this in the intro, but with our current energy, I'm going to break it up into 3 little groups. We're going to be looking at those of you who are single and you kind of don't have anybody, or you're just kind of at the very beginning of some kind of a cycle. We're going to put you right here. And then for those of you who are in a relationship, or you're like actively dealing with somebody right now, we're going to put you in the middle. And then for those of you that are like at the end of a cycle, or you're going into a separation, or something is like ending, then you'll be right here. So we're going to look at 3 energies, and I will have all the timestamps in the description below, so that way, you know, like you want to watch one, but you want to skip the other 2 and just go straight into the future energy. I'm going to have all the timestamps in the description below. So let's get into it. Let's get started for those of you who are in the very beginning of a cycle, or if you are actively single. I just recently got this deck and it's so hard to shuffle. All right, for group 2. All right, for group 2, for those who are single, for group 2's current and future love life. For those who are single, can we get one card for their current energy? Those who are single, for group 2, can we get a card for their current energy? Single or in the beginning of a cycle, we have the 7 of Cups. For those who are in the middle of a cycle or already dealing with somebody, 3 of Wands. And then for those who are at the end of a cycle or are in a separation and their cycle is closing out, can we get one card for their energy? For those at the end of a cycle. Oh, you got 2. You got the King of Swords, and then you got the 9 of Cups. Okay, let me kind of move these over then to kind of make space for everyone. I have a second deck really quickly. I'm going to go in to clarify. Okay, let's clarify the 7 of Cups for those who are at the beginning of a cycle or those who are single. Let's clarify the 7 of Cups. Let's clarify the 7 of Cups. Oh my, lots of cards falling out everywhere. Okay, I'll take this one. It fell out, the only card that fell out face up. So we have the Moon. To clarify the 3 of Wands for those who are dealing with somebody or in the middle of a connection. We have the 2 of Cups. For those at the end of a cycle, coming through as the King of Swords and the 9 of Cups. Can we clarify this energy for those at the end of a cycle? Or that are in a separation, recently broken up, recently ending something. Can we clarify the King of Swords and the 9 of Cups? Okay. 7 of Crystals. Okay, I really like this energy. I want to clarify this 2 of Cups really quick. Let's clarify the 2 of Cups for the 3 of Wands. Clarify the 3 of Wands and the 2 of Cups. Now this, for you to be in the middle of a connection, this doesn't mean you have to actively be with somebody. So it's very possible you could be like involved with somebody, but maybe there's distance, maybe there's separation. And for those of you, sometimes I feel like this like middle energy could also linger into like the ending energy as well. So I just want to clarify, like just because you're dealing with somebody or dealing with somebody's energy or like you're in the middle of something, it doesn't mean you have to actively be with them. This person could be on your mind like 24/7, but maybe you're not physically with them. But that's why I want to clarify in case there is another interpretation. Can we get another card to clarify the 3 of Wands and the 2 of Cups here? High Priestess. Okay, great. I'm like, can we clarify it? And then they give me a card of intuition. It's fine. The cards were taking a while to come out, so. Okay. To start off with people who are single, or if you are just like kind of meeting somebody or at the very early stages of some kind of a connection here, so you're at the very beginning, with the 7 of Cups and the Moon, this actually makes perfect sense because the Moon is a card about confusion. We're in the dark. We don't know something. We don't have all the answers. We don't see the full picture. And we're a little confused. You know, we don't know what's happening. And I think with the 7 of Cups, that is like a perfect balance because this also talks about illusions and confusions, and we don't know what's happening with that Seven of Cups here. So I could interpret this in two ways. The first way is if you are completely single and you don't have a single person on your mind, you don't have a single person in your life, just very single, and you've been single for a long time, I think you're really questioning the universe, or like you're questioning higher power, and you're like, I've been single forever. Like, where is my person? Do I have a person? And it is becoming a bit of like a restlessness, or maybe it's taking a toll on you emotionally, because I think you're really questioning, like, why am I still single? Why have I not had somebody? Why have I not found somebody yet? And I think you're like, yeah, it's like it's turning into this level of restlessness because you're a little annoyed with the universe, because you're like, it's been a long time and it's like, I just want somebody. Where are they? Why haven't you given me somebody yet? So I think there is this questioning the universe, a little bit of a restlessness. And I also think for that energy, like you're really trying to find somebody. And maybe because you've been single for a while, or if you're really craving this relationship with a person, maybe you're kind of finding yourself in like difficult situations, because even if you like jump into something with somebody, they're not fulfilling you the way that you want a relationship to fulfill you. And I think even that is causing you to butt heads with the universe, because you're like, okay, like I don't find somebody and I'm emotionally unsatisfied. Did somebody just yell? Okay, I think kids are just playing. That freaked me out for a second. Okay. So you're thinking like, okay, well, like I've been single for a really long time and the universe is not giving me somebody, so I'm emotionally unsatisfied. But then when I'm seeking dating and seeking relationships and seeking people, then they're also not matching my needs, and I'm still emotionally unsatisfied. So I think you're kind of like confused with the universe, because like anything you do, you're finding yourself emotionally unsatisfied, or like for some of you, you're really just questioning like, why is it taking me so long and where is my person? And you're almost becoming restless within that situation. And then another way I can interpret this is like the sense of confusion if you are dealing with somebody. But this would be the beginning of a cycle. So for those of you, if you just met somebody, or you're just like kind of getting acquainted with somebody, and you're really questioning them, and you're really confused about maybe their true intentions, or you're kind of in the dark about like what could happen next, I see that very strongly too. But I think the first scenario probably resonates with more people. The second scenario of like, if you currently met somebody, or you currently have started something with someone, but you're in this limbo, or you're in this confusion, or you're really questioning like, do they really care? Are they really taking this seriously? Should I invest more time and effort into this? Like, I think you're questioning, is this person legit with what they are offering you? And for that energy, I think that could be a smaller group, but I am sensing for somebody watching this, like maybe you started texting somebody, started to go on dates with somebody, and you're really questioning, are they legit? Like, is this real, or am I just gonna waste my time? So I'm seeing two scenarios, but I do feel like there's this energy of like, yeah, I just, those two energies, and I think you're really like questioning if somebody is legitimately offering you what they say they're offering you. I don't know why there's such suspicion if you just met somebody and you just started talking to them, but yeah, either way, I think if you're in this single or early on energy, there is confusion, and I think you're really trying to find clarity regarding that confusion. Now, this energy is so interesting to me. We have the Three of Wands with the Two of Cups and the High Priestess. For some of you, I do feel like you are missing somebody. So this could be the energy of being in a separation, or being in some kind of a long distance with somebody, and you're really missing them with that Two of Cups. I think you really like this person, you have real feelings for this person, but you really miss them and you're really longing for them. So first example is you're in some kind of a separation, meaning you are not actively talking to each other, but your energy is still lingering within this person, and I think you're still thinking about them, you're reminiscing about them, and you're energetically still connected to this person, and you're in a separation, so you really miss them, and you like want to talk to them, you want to be close to them like this, but you're actually by yourself like this, and you're like kind of thinking about the past and really reminiscing about this connection you had with this person. For others of you, you could actively be in a relationship with somebody, but you're in some kind of a long distance relationship with them. So say like it's because of work or school, or you know, like this person is just at a distance from you and you really miss them and you're really thinking about them, and you really wish you could spend more time with them. I think either way, for this middle group here, you really do have feelings for somebody, you really care about somebody, but either you're in a separation or there's some kind of a break going on between the two of you, or you're at a physical distance from them, but you're still actively with them. For some of you, you could even be traveling, you could just maybe be working or school, or like something's going on with the distance here, but you still talk to them regularly, you're still in a connection and in a relationship with them, but it's like you're longing for that physical touch and to be physically near this person. And then we have the High Priestess, which for the scenario, if like you are actively in a relationship, like in a healthy relationship with somebody, and you're just at a distance, you're in some kind of a long distance, or there's distance between the two of you, but you're in a healthy connection, I feel like with the High Priestess, the universe is saying to trust this situation and to trust your intuition, but to like to like give into it, you know, like to allow, not to allow, what's the right word? Hold on, my cat is scratching at the door. I think this is the universe saying to you, like, everything will be okay. To continue to like be a part of this long distance relationship, or to continue to be a part of this situation, even if you miss them, even if like there's that distance between the two of you, because everything will be okay. And like maybe right now there's just meant to be this long distance between the two of you, but like everything will be okay, and like this is okay, like this is good for you, this is a good relationship for you, and they want you to trust that, even if like it's not playing out in the physical world the way that you want it to right now. But I feel like that's what I'm trying to figure out, is like, would that count as a message for those of you who are actually in a separation? Because I don't want to give a wrong message, because if you're in a separation with somebody and like maybe you do miss them and you do want to be with them, but maybe that's not your person, I don't want to give you false hope saying like, hey, you should wait for them, or like, yeah, like there's a reason the separation is happening, but maybe you guys will get back together. Like, I don't necessarily want to say that if that's not what is right, but I can't figure it out. I don't know why. And that's why I wanted to clarify, but then they gave me a card of intuition. Like this is not like the best clarifying card. So I guess you could view this as like your own intuition. Like if you are in a separation with somebody, so you're not in a relationship anymore, or you're on a break, then use your own intuition on if you feel like this is somebody for you. Because I feel like if you are in a healthy relationship, then yeah, the universe is saying you will eventually come back together physically, and like the connection is still real between the two of you. But if you're in a separation and you feel intuitively like you're gonna get back together with this person, and you really feel like there could be something more with them even though you're in a separation, then I think that's to each their own with that, and maybe just kind of listen to your intuition about that. But yeah, I think if this middle group, you're definitely kind of like missing somebody or longing for somebody. Okay, then we have the King of Swords and the Nine of Cups. I actually love this energy. It's very straightforward. And it feels very nice. It feels very healthy. So this is for if you're coming out of a connection, or you're in a separation, or you're at an ending. Like the relationship you were in, that cycle has ended. And I love this because I think you're very happy in this ending. With the Seven of Crystals, I think you're finally pouring into yourself again. You're working, you know, towards your own stability, towards your own happiness again. With the King of Swords here, I feel like you have a better understanding of like what happened, and you're healing from it, and you have like a better understanding of where you're going in the future from now, like from this separation. It feels like you've learned a lot. evolved a lot because of the relationship and because of the ending. And I think you know that like this was not your person, and like I think you're very happy with the fact that like there is this ending and this relationship is over. And I think that you're moving forward in a very positive, optimistic energy. It feels like you got what you wanted, or you got what you needed to get out of this connection, and you're not upset that it's over. And I see you just in a very positive, happy energy, and you just know that there's a bright future ahead of you, and that you will find something or somebody else that makes you happy moving forward. But it does feel like you're embracing the ending, you're embracing this new beginning for yourself, and you're very happy. There's a lot of emotional fulfillment, and you're really focusing on your own self right now, and your own priorities, your own career, your own stability. Like you're just focusing on you right now moving forward, and it really feels like there's no limits, you know, like the sky is the limit. Like you have endless possibilities and endless options, and I'm seeing a lot of independence here as well. So it feels very good. It feels like this breath of fresh air for you, and you're just so happy to be done with something, and you're like ready to move on with your life, and you just feel so good. I love this ending energy. It's very straightforward. It's very clear for me to understand what you are going through. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for the three, for the single or in the beginning of a connection, for if you're dealing with somebody right now, and then if you're actively out of a connection and you're ending something. That is what I'm sensing. So let's get into the future messages now to see what is happening next for group two's love life. And if you feel like the group that you are a part of up here, if this didn't resonate with you, then definitely check out a different group, because we have 4 groups that are having these individual breakdowns. So what is that? That is a lot of groups that you could find yourself in. So you have like 4 options. If you feel like you're in the middle of something but this didn't resonate with you, you have 4 groups to find that middle energy. You know what I mean? So lots of options to see which one resonates, which one doesn't today. So let's get right into it. So let me clear off anything here. First, let's see what's next in love. Oh my God. When cards flop over like that and just a whole chunk of it falls on the ground, it drives me crazy. Okay, let's see. What is next in love? What's next in love for group 2? Oh, I love that. Queen of Pentacles. Let's clarify. What's next in love for group 2? Oh my God, that just smacked me in the face. Oh, King of Cups. King of Cups and Queen of Pentacles. Wow. Wheel of Fortune. We literally have... Oh wow, the Star in the reverse. This immediately made me feel that something is materializing in the 3D. Like something is coming out of your head, and it is coming out of your daydreams or your fantasies, but something is like coming out of your imagination, and it is materializing in the 3D for you. So I don't know what exactly that is. It could be something little, it could be something big, it could be like a specific person, a type of relationship, but it's something that you have been dreaming about for a while. Something that you've been wanting, dreaming, manifesting, but it feels like it's finally coming out of your head and like materializing in your world, which is so interesting. What a specific message that is. So for what's next in love, we have the King and Queen of Pentacles. So clearly there is some kind of a counterpart energy. We have a king and a queen. We have masculine and feminine energy. The Queen of Pentacles, so the feminine energy could be an earth sign, Cancer, not Cancer. King is water, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio would be the masculine energy. The feminine energy could be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. And it's interesting, in this one, there's literally a little child as well. So for some of you, there could be a commitment. So say that, especially like if you're questioning something, or well, this feels really good and really healthy. So I think for those of you, if you have somebody in your life, then there is going to be some higher level of commitment between the two of you. And it also feels like this would be very stable, and it would be like a realistic commitment. And I think you would like really like build something with this person moving forward. So it does feel like some kind of a commitment. And again, maybe for some of you, if you've been manifesting a commitment with somebody, that could be like materializing in the 3D, which is what we see here. If you've been like dreaming about something, something is materializing for you that you've wanted. But I do think this is very specific, so it does feel like some kind of a commitment between two people here. Now, for those of you who are like coming out of a relationship, right, and you're not with somebody right now, then for this to be what's next in your life, the next person that you meet, or the next person that you kind of like fall for, like actually have feelings for, that would be this next relationship that is materializing into something more for you. So if you don't actively have somebody right now because you're just focusing on yourself, then Spirit is saying like very soon coming into your life, there is a relationship coming into your life. So I think like no matter what's going on, whether it's somebody that you already know of and you're already like in some kind of a situation with this person, or if it's somebody brand new, there is a relationship coming into your life very soon, group 2. And it's like something you've been waiting on for a very long time, or the type of person, the type of relationship that you have been waiting for a very long time. So yeah, I think no matter what scenario you're in, there is a higher level of commitment coming in for you. Now that we kind of see that there is a commitment coming in for group 2, let's see, who is this person? Oh my God. That was really fast, because I want to elaborate since we know that there is somebody coming in. Who is this? Another king. We have the King of Pentacles. Let's clarify on who is this person coming in for this commitment for group 2. Who is this person that's coming in for this commitment? Now, I do want to say, for those of you who are like thinking about somebody from the past, then this is clearly showing me that this is a new person. This is not the person that you are reminiscing about or thinking about. This would only be the person that's already in your life if you're already in some kind of a long distance connection with them. So if you're not in like a healthy dynamic with somebody, or like, you know, you're not like talking to somebody, you're not in some kind of a healthy dynamic, this is somebody brand new. So I do want to clarify that, because remember I said that in the very beginning, I was like, I don't want to say that the person you're missing and you're in a separation with is your person if it's not. And I think this clarifies to me that this is a brand new person. And if you are thinking and reminiscing and missing somebody that you're in a separation with, Spirit is saying to you, there is somebody new coming in. Let's clarify on who is this. Let's clarify the King of Pentacles on who is this person coming in for group 2's commitment. For group 2's love life. Who is this person? Wow, the Chariot. Yeah, and this is happening very quickly. This commitment and this person is coming into your life very quickly. So we have Cancer energy here with the Chariot. Oh my God, this also has a little child on the card. I wonder if like one person here already has a kid that you are bringing into the dynamic within this person. So maybe you have a kid for some of you, or they have a kid that they are bringing into this dynamic. But if nobody has a kid, don't worry about it. That's just something I wanted to mention because I saw it here. So a little bit about who is this person that's coming in. I feel like you guys will be very compatible because we literally have the King and Queen of Pentacles out here. So that is like that equal counterpart. So again, more Earth. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn is coming through. And that's so crazy. Earlier I said Cancer, remember? I was like trying to say Earth signs, but for some reason I spelled out Cancer. And the Chariot is Cancer energy. Also, July could be a significant time frame. Somebody could have been born in July, or maybe you meet this person or get into a commitment in July. But Cancer could be significant. Now, yeah, I feel like you guys would be very compatible, especially in the sense of like practicality, in the sense of like your motivation, your determination, your career, your everyday lifestyle. I think you would be very similar in that sense. Like you're seeking similar things and you want similar, similar things in life and similar things in a relationship. And it feels, even especially this Two of Cups being up here, it just feels like a very harmonious compatibility between you and this person. There could be some kind of an age gap. I wouldn't say it's like a huge age gap, but it does feel like the masculine energy could be older, just by maybe like a year or two, maybe even by a couple of months. At the least, for some of you, it could be a larger age gap, but it does feel like the masculine could be older. But they're very young at heart, which I really like, especially with like King of Cups. I feel like the masculine is very emotionally intelligent. They're emotionally healed. They know what they want emotionally, and they're emotionally available, which I think is very important for this energy. And I feel like even the feminine energy is coming through very practical, very down to earth, and somebody who is also emotionally available and like ready for something more. And I love the Chariot is here because this also feels like that Wheel of Fortune, which feels like divine timing, divine intervention, and like the universe is bringing two people together. So this very much feels like you can't really control the situation and it is just going to happen for you. Now, if for some of you, you're questioning, if you have somebody that you just met and you are questioning if like that is a real commitment, or like if this person is serious, or like if they're messing with you, I don't know. Like, I feel like this would be a new person. And I think if you're having questions about somebody, this wouldn't be that person. Because I think almost right away you would click very well with this person. And I think you wouldn't have doubts. And I think Spirit is saying to you, for those of you, if you just met somebody and you're having doubts on how legit this is, or if this is the right person for you, Spirit is saying there's a reason we're giving you doubts. There's a reason we could be showing you red flags, or there's a reason we're planting these seeds of doubt in your head, because somebody better is about to come in. Because it feels like the moment you would meet this new person, you would kind of just know instantly that like, oh, I kind of like you, or like, oh, there's potential here. We're very similar. We want similar things. Our maturities add up. We're very aligned in many different ways. So for all of you, it feels like a new person that you have not had doubts about before. Or if you're in some kind of a long distance, I will say it's possible this is that same person. Only for very specific few of you, if you're already in a healthy dynamic with somebody, then it's like this commitment is with that person. Now, I love it, especially for those of you that have like ended something and you're kind of just doing your own thing and you're, just like bettering yourself. It feels like this person is very aligned to what you are seeking. So that feels very good as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's coming to me about the Seven of Cups and the Moon people. I do think this relationship has to come to you because there is this sense of divine timing and divine intervention. And for those of you, if you have been single for a long time and you're maybe like dating people just to like find somebody, or you're like rushing it, or you're like there's this restlessness because you've been single for so long and you're just like really wanting it right now, I think Spirit wants you to kind of pause, because you're actually creating friction when it comes to this person coming into your life, because they don't want you to be in that chaotic energy, or like chasing people, or seeking love, seeking relationships, and causing that resistance, because this needs to be something that falls into your life naturally. So if you're like in that resistance, then it's like you're kind of pushing this away. So they kind of want you to pause. Even if you're frustrated or you're a little upset about how slow things are moving in your love life, they want you to just like pause and not do too much right now. So can we get a time frame? Since we know that there is a commitment. Oh my God, I just saw the Eight of Wands, but it flipped back. Since we know that there is a commitment coming in for group 2, could we get a time frame? So can we get a, like, when would this happen? First, let's let's get a when. Or first, actually, since we have this, we can ask how. First, let me see, how will they come into union? For group 2, how will group 2 and this person come into union? You're getting so many court cards, which is so crazy. So for a how you're coming into union, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So for one of you, or for some of you, you could be traveling when you meet this person, especially because this girl, individual is on a motorcycle. It feels like traveling, or there is like some kind of momentum. And even the chariot, you know, it's like a chariot being pulled by horses, so you're like traveling in some way. So it could be in a new environment, especially with that energy of like a pit stop or like a layover, or like you're kind of in some place temporarily, like you're not here long term. That's what it feels like. So maybe like this person is visiting, you know, closer to you, and they're not there for long term, but you run into them, or like you're visiting them, you know, like you're going to where they are and you meet them there even if you're not staying there, or both of you are meeting in a temporary place because you're both kind of like traveling through. But it does feel like some sense of traveling, or some movement is causing the two of you for your paths to come together. There could also be something about work, or like a work opportunity, a business trip. It could also be school as well for some of you, like maybe you are going somewhere for school temporarily. And actually for some of you, it could actually be like the feminine energy that's making the first move. Doesn't have to be for everyone, but I do feel like for some of you, the feminine energy is like feeling very like confident. So whenever they see somebody, and it doesn't even have to be like you're going up, or the feminine is going up and just straight up flirting with this person and like being weird and crazy. It's not like that. I think it could even be subtle. Like you could just initiate the conversation, or, you know, the feminine energy would just maybe like initiate the conversation, or something here revolves around the feminine energy. So maybe it's like a decision they make to go do something, or they are going up to talk to this person first. And I think that's also Spirit's way of saying to you, like, don't be afraid to put yourself out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid to start conversations with people. So then let's see, when could this potentially happen? Oh my God. Okay, so I got 2 cards. I'll take them, even though they fell on the ground. For a when, oh my God, you have the Knight of Swords. So how come there's so many court cards coming out? There could be something to do with people as well, because we have so many court cards. Like maybe people in your life are introducing you to this person. Maybe it's like your friends are setting you up. Maybe it's like a blind date. Maybe it's like mutual co-workers, mutual classmates. Maybe it's like family friends. Maybe it's like church. I don't know. Like there's something to do with people, because I'm seeing all the court cards here. So people in your life could play a part in bringing you guys together. So what was I asking? This is when. The Knight of Swords is a very fast energy. But then the Nine of Pentacles is kind of a very slow energy. With the Nine of Pentacles, this definitely feels like when you feel secure in yourself. So, you know, and that's why I really like this energy. It almost feels like for those of you who kind of resonate with like doing your own thing, working on yourself, you're not attached to anybody, you're not chasing anyone, you're not looking for love. It almost feels like you are the most aligned to this coming in quicker, because with the Nine of Pentacles, like Spirit is saying, you need to feel secure within yourself. You need to fill your own cups, your own happiness. You know, there shouldn't be a void that you're trying to fill with other people. And also like this idea of like missing somebody from the past, and like especially if you're in a separation and that person is not in your life anymore, that feels like you're not necessarily in this self-sufficiency. So yeah, like you would have to be like independent, self-sufficient, and also like not have anyone's energy in your life. Like you're not energetically attached to anybody, but you see how that restlessness and that like seeking and chasing love and like wanting to find somebody, that's like very different from this, where you're not seeking and you're not chasing, and you're just kind of pouring into yourself and just focusing on yourself and doing your own thing, and you're very at peace within yourself in life. I feel like whenever you find yourself in this, like a bit more settled and not seeking external things and just like focusing on your career or your foundation or your finances, when you're just doing you, it feels like that's when you're aligning to this commitment that's coming in. And so that gives you a timeline, because for your own self, you know, you would know, like if you're already in this energy, then you know this is like right around the corner. But if you're not in this energy, then you know that there's a little bit of internal work to be done before you get into this energy, before that person comes in. So you're a little farther away from the commitment. And then we have the Knight of Swords, which is very interesting, because I think that when you get into this energy with the Nine of Pentacles, then it would happen very quickly. So for those of you, if you already feel like you're already here, then this would happen very fast, because the Knight of Swords is a very, very quick speed. And I saw the Eight of Wands earlier too. So it feels like when you are aligned, it's going to be very quick. And it's just going to kind of like fall into your lap. It's just going to come into your life and you're not really thinking about it, and then suddenly it's here. But it feels like you have to enter this first before it can come into your life. But yeah, once you're here, it'll happen very quickly. And I do think it's to do with something with travel, career, or with school that is like intertwined into this somehow. But definitely traveling and some kind of movement is very important here. So yeah, I think to also answer the question of like what could slow this down is your lack of independence, or you still being energetically connected to somebody from the past and from a separation, or you like seeking immediate satisfaction, temporary satisfaction. I think all of these things, especially if you're still connected to an ex, I think all of these things would slow this down, would slow this harmonious commitment down. But now you know that once you get into this, that would speed it up. So you focusing on yourself, pouring into yourself, not seeking somebody else, I think all of these things would speed this up for you to get to this, and then this would come into your life. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm seeing. Group number 2. So I just want to quickly, if you have somebody on your mind that you want any like direct channeled messages from, let's see what is going to come through with the Hidden Truth Oracle. So if you have anyone, just go ahead and think about them now, and we will get some direct messages. So what does this person want to say to group 2? What does this person want to say to group 2? Oh, it says, I love you unconditionally. That's very positive. It says, I'm so attracted to you. What does this person want to say to group 2? I'm starting to understand our connection. I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. I'll get one more. For some of you, if you're in some kind of a long distance situation, or you're like talking to somebody but you're not committed yet, this could actually be from them, these first three cards. Oh, I'll wait for a sign from you. Okay, these are very positive. So, okay, group number 2, you can honestly take these however you would like. If, you know, there was somebody you wanted to hear from. But thank you so much for being here, you guys. I hope you were able to get any messages, advice, or predictions from our reading today. If you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon where the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings. So that is linked in the description below. Go ahead and check that out. And for December, I am a little busy because of the holidays, but if you want to book a private reading with me, it's going to be on a first come, first serve basis. And ideally, if you want to book a reading, you should email me in like the beginning of the month, you know, because once we're getting to the end of the month and kind of the holiday time, Christmas, and then New Year's, I'm going to be a little busy closer to the end of the month. But yeah, if you want to book a reading with me, go ahead and email me and we will try to work something out. But thank you so much for being here, you guys. Take good care of yourself and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this Hanged Man with the pink Rider-Waite tarot and this rose quartz, this is your group. Hello, group number 3. Thank you guys so much for being here. I totally forgot what group we were on, but group 3, hi. So like I mentioned in the intro, this reading is all about your current and future love life. So we're going to start off with this deck right here. This is going to give us the energy checks for our 3 like mini groups. We're going to be looking at, for those of you who are in like the beginning of a connection, or you are single and there's like nobody on your mind, you're kind of like in the earlier stages, like, so you'll be right here. And then we're going to look at, for the middle group, if you are already dealing with somebody or you are in a relationship, or like there's someone's energy that is lingering with you. You can even be in a separation and still be in the middle because you're still like energetically connected to somebody. So that would put you right here. And then for those of you who have recently come out of a relationship, so you're in a full-on like breakup, separation, ending, like it's done, and you're kind of moving on from that, that would put you at like the end of a cycle. But I think cycles could overlap, like the middle and the ending, maybe you're kind of overlapping, so keep that in mind, you know. Or like the beginning and the middle could overlap as well, so that's totally fine. Just kind of interpret them however feels right to you. And of course, if the energy checks really doesn't sound like you, then definitely check out a different group before we go into the future energy with your deck that you chose right here. This is what's gonna show us what's coming into your love life. And then at the very end, I actually have my Hidden Truth Oracle right here. So at the very end, if you have somebody on your mind that you want direct channeled messages from, we're going to get that from that deck right there. So yeah, that is everything. That is our breakdown today for your current and future love life. So let's get right into it. I do want to say with the Hanged Man here, I do want to say, so for some of you, it's possible that you are in some kind of a period of rest, or like how, you know, the keywords, it says pause, surrender. Oh my God. Oh, it's the trash. Oh my God, it's trash day. It's dumpsters. I was like, what the heck is that sound? Okay, so we have pause, surrender, letting go, new perspectives, enlightenment, viewing things different than before, deep insight, sacrifice, release, and change. So some of you could be in this energy, like you're kind of in the middle. It's kind of like a limbo. Maybe you're 50-50 about something. Maybe you are taking like a time out and you're in this period of rest within your love life or within a connection. So yeah, I mean, for some of you, you could be in that energy. So, but if you don't resonate with that, that's totally okay. So let's get into it. I am going to get started. This is a new tarot deck that I got, and I love it. It's circle, but it's like it's expanded on the sides, which is really cool, because then you can like see more of the image than you do on like the traditional size cards. But it's hard to shuffle. It's hard for me to like hold on to it because the circumference is like much larger than my actual hand size, so it's kind of like tough to hold on to all of it. And okay, so for those of you who are single or at the very beginning of a cycle, let's see what is your current energy. For those who are single or at the very beginning of a cycle, what is their current energy? 2 of Pentacles, okay. For those who are in the middle, okay, that came out really fast. 6 of Swords. And then for those who are at the end of a relationship, the end of a cycle, who are in a separation or recently things ended, those who are at the end of a cycle, what is their current energy? That's a lot. For those who are at the end of a cycle, what is their current energy? Ooh, Page of Wands. Okay, I like that. I have another deck here where I'm gonna go in just to clarify these cards to get a little bit more insight. Okay. Let's clarify the Two of Swords, or whoa, Two of Swords. Sorry, Two of Pentacles. I'll keep in mind that I thought about the Two of Swords. So let's clarify the Two of Pentacles for those who are at the beginning of the cycle here or are single. Two of Pentacles. Let's clarify this Two of Pentacles, please. Let's clarify. Whoa. Oh, I got it. Nice. It like fell on me and then almost fell off, but I caught it before it fell off. Nice. Okay, let's clarify the Six of Swords for those who are in the middle of a connection or are dealing with somebody, whether physically or energetically. Let's clarify the Six of Swords here. I'm sorry if you hear the trash dumpster thing outside. It's trash day. We have the Four of Crystals. Okay, let's clarify the Page of Wands for those at the end of a cycle. Oh, okay, keep in mind 3 crystals was on top. Let's clarify the Page of Wands here. Okay, let's clarify the Page of Wands. Oh, I love this. I love this energy right here for if you are in the end of a cycle or if you've recently left somebody or there's been a breakup, separation, whatever you want to call it, and you are like done with a person in a relationship. I love this energy for you. Now, I want to clarify this Eight of Wands really quick. Let's clarify this Eight of Wands and this Two of Pentacles because... Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oh, interesting. We see the Devil at the bottom of the deck. Okay. I will go in order, and I will also leave timestamps in the description below in case you don't want to watch the other groups. Then, you know, feel free to skip and maybe jump around a little bit, but I'm going to get started and go in this direction here. Now, this is interesting because for you, if you're in the beginning of a cycle with somebody, so you've recently met somebody, or if you've been single for a while, I'm going to interpret this in both ways because I am seeing 2 different messages. So my first message would be if you are dealing with somebody, so you recently just met somebody, I don't think you're in a full-blown relationship, you know, because you kind of just met them, you're in the early stages of like talking to them, getting to know them. There is this energy of really questioning it. And there could be multiple reasons why you're questioning it, since this is a general reading. It could be because they're not really your type, they're not really what you want, you know, they're just like kind of not living up to what you want in a partner. So you're kind of wondering, okay, like do I continue to feed into this? Do I just walk away now before it gets too deep into something? So there is this really questioning and kind of like going back and forth on like, do I continue or do I just end things and just kind of walk away right now? I do sense that you are already kind of doubting this person or doubting the situation or doubting if it's just for you right now. Because it does feel like maybe you're seeking something else or like somebody else. So again, maybe like the person that you just started talking to, they're not really like, you know, they don't really check off all the boxes. And I think that's totally valid and totally fair. Because with the Eight of Wands and the Two of Wands, this is a very fun, fast moving energy. You know, it's in a forward movement energy, and especially the Two of Wands talks about options and you know, having multiple possibilities and kind of leaving it open. You know, we're not shutting the door on something, we're kind of leaving it open. And the Eight of Wands, you know, it's a very fast forward moving energy, and it's all about expansion. Both of these are about expansion. So to me, it just feels like something about a connection. If you just met somebody, it's not allowing you to expand the way you want to expand, or for some reason it's interfering with what you want to do in life or what you want to do moving forward. Like it's kind of putting restrictions on you, especially even if it's just in the beginning. And I think you're questioning, oh wow, like I don't want these restrictions, I don't want this, because you either want your freedom, you want your independence, or you want to be able to expand in some way. Or, you know, I mean, it could also just be that this person just doesn't excite you, or they don't really like check your boxes the way that you want somebody to excite you and to check your boxes, you know? So I think that's why you're like, maybe I should leave my options open, maybe I should not jump into something more with this person. And I think you're kind of going 50-50 about it. Another thing is there could also be something about distance, because especially with this being Sagittarius energy, and even this, the Two of Wands, can also talk about distance for me sometimes. So there could be some conflict for those of you, if you just met somebody, there could be some like conflict about distance. Maybe like you just met them but they don't live where you live, or like, you know, like they're kind of far away from you or something like that. There's something about like physical distance that could play a factor in this. Now, for those of you who don't have somebody, I think that you are maybe working a lot, or like you're kind of busy, you're staying busy with just your activities and work, and with just your lifestyle. And I think you're almost wondering, like, do I even have time for a connection? Or you're wondering, how do I make space for a connection to come in? And for some of you, if you have been single for a long time, I think you're also wondering, okay, like maybe I should just kind of take a step back from all the things that I'm doing and maybe make space for a connection. I do think if you've been single for a while, there is this need for like passion, there is this need for excitement, and maybe to just kind of broaden up your horizons in the sense of dating and in the sense of like relationships, even if it's not like a full-blown commitment. I think for some of you, you've just been working a lot and you don't really have a lot of free time, and you're kind of shifting into this energy of like, okay, do I want to make free time to allow somebody to come in? Or how do I do it? How do I go about like, yeah, having some time to maybe let somebody in? But for those of you who have been single for a while, I think you are craving some level of passion and some level of like excitement from somebody. And it doesn't have to be a specific person that's on your mind. I mean, you could be in this energy and have nobody on your mind, but you're just craving that from somebody. You know what I mean? I could also view this in a bit of a broader sense, where you're just seeking excitement in life in general. For some of you, especially if you've just kind of been working a lot, you've been in the same like day-to-day routine, you're kind of just living the same life over and over again. I think you are craving expansion in the sense of having fun and just like doing something new with your energy in life in general. Doesn't have to be strictly about relationships. I could see this as somebody who's just kind of bored and maybe a little burnt out, and maybe kind of just want to kind of just want to like shake it up a little bit, you know, do something different with your energy. So that's what I'm sensing here for this beginning vibe, or if you're single. Now, also Sagittarius could be significant here, because I feel like that's such a Sagittarius thing. It's like they don't want to be like kept in a box. And I think that's kind of what the energy is. If there is somebody that you are thinking of, it's like, am I willing to give up my freedom, or am I willing to like be submissive and be like kept in this box for this person? You know, I think there's like this going back and forth on like, okay, I don't really know if this is what I want, because I want my freedom, I want my expansion. And I feel like that's such a Sagittarius thing. And I have a lot of Sag in my chart, and I'm actually a Sag rising, which is a fun fact, which I don't really talk about my chart that often, but I am. And so like I totally relate to that energy of like, okay, like I want expansion, I want freedom, independence. So I'm like, do I really want to commit to somebody right now? So I get that, you guys, if you relate to that energy. So now moving on to if you are in the middle of some kind of a connection with somebody and you are dealing with somebody, I do get the sense that you are like, I'll interpret this in two ways in case it's not the one that is coming out to me first. The first interpretation is that you are moving away from somebody. I think for those of you who have been dealing with somebody for a long time, it's very possible you've been in that energy of kind of like, okay, what do I really want? Is this connection really what I want? And with the Six of Swords here, this is an energy of like a forward movement energy, but it's a peaceful transition and you're moving forward in a positive way, but you are leaving some kind of chaos or turbulent situation behind. So that really feels like if you've been dealing with somebody and it's just not the relationship that you wanted and it's just not panning out to what you want it to be, you are moving forward. And Spirit is saying it's okay to move forward, you know. And the way I originally saw this Four of Pentacles, I originally saw this as the traditional Four of Pentacles in the reverse. That mixed with the image on this Four of Pentacles, she looks very confident. She looks like she knows what she wants, very confident. Or he, you know, this could be either anybody, but it's just that level of confidence that's coming through with this energy. This is somebody that just knows what they want and they know maybe what they deserve. They know what they want in a relationship. And it just feels like, I know that this relationship is not it for me. That's what I originally saw when I saw this image. And then I thought about this as the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, because in the reverse, it talks about letting go. Because if we look at Four of Pentacles upright, it talks about holding on to something. We're holding on, we're clutching onto it because we don't want to let it go. We want it to be like set in stone. We want this and we don't want it to go. But I saw this as like, okay, it's a forward transition. You're moving on from something, and with this in the reverse, you're letting go of it. And you're actually confident enough that this is not what you wanted. And now you're kind of moving on and you're healing, and now you're moving forward with a better idea of what you want in a partner, what you want with yourself. And I also think for a lot of you, there could have been some like major healing that happened within yourself in this connection, because I think this connection taught you a lot of things. It like gave you new perspectives, new ideas. I think it helped you heal a lot of things, or to at least understand yourself better, to know what you want and to really know who you are as a person. Like this is like such a confident energy with this image, especially with the diamonds. I think like the crystals, that's what's making it feel like very luxurious, abundant, and independent. And it feels like, you know, I know exactly what I want. I know my worth. I know what I deserve. And I'm going to move on and I'm going to find it somewhere else. But with this being the Six of Swords, this is a peaceful transition. So it does feel like you could have made up your mind a while ago, or you could have been already in this transition energy for a little bit, or it just feels right. You know, for some of you, it's been brewing for a while, and then you're like, you know what, this feels right. It feels like the right time, and I'm going to move forward and move away from this connection. And for some of you, you could be moving, especially like if you live together, or if you're really starting like this new chapter in your life, you could just be moving to a new city, a new country. Like you're just relocating because you can, because you don't have any restrictions. Like no one, you know, you're not tied back to anybody now. So I think you have this new level of freedom and independence as well. Now, I did say I was going to interpret this a second way, and I don't remember what that second interpretation was. So I'm almost wondering if Spirit doesn't even like want me to talk about a second interpretation. What was I going to say? The Six of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. I don't know. I actually don't know at all what I was going to say for a second interpretation. So I'm just going to leave it at that, because I think that's all I can really see is someone realizing they can do better, they need to do better, and kind of realizing that something is not for them. This energy is also giving expansion. So I really wonder if that is just the energy of group 3, is expansion, of growth, of forward movement, and not wanting to be stuck in something that's not meant for you, or not wanting to be stuck in one place. Or, you know, it feels like for this group, you really want to live your life, and you know what you want, and you're not going to live a life that you don't want to live. You know, I feel like it's very simple, And that's like, even with this energy, that's why you're kind of going back and forth. And even if you're dissatisfied about being single for a long time, that's why you want to change it, because again, it's that growth. So I'm really sensing that for this energy here too, and even this. So I'm going to transition now to the Page of Wands and the Ace of Cups. I love this because this is an ace, and this is pretty much the beginning of something new too. So this is also like an ace in a way with the page. It's a very young energy. It's very new. It's this new experience, or it's a new passion that you are finding. And especially this being the end, I feel like this could really go hand in hand, where you are walking away from something, you're leaving something behind, something that just wasn't meant for you, and you have newfound confidence, and you're really just starting over in your life, which is very nice, because a page is, again, a very new energy. It's a very young energy, but it's confident. It's exciting. It's this energy of like, you know what? I'm starting over, and I'm so pumped about it. I'm so excited. And with the Ace of Cups, I love that, because it's like there's this new love that you have for your life, for this new experience you want to have. Like, you're really viewing things in a very emotional, fulfilling kind of a way, especially if you were lacking emotional fulfillment to some point up until now. But if you are ending some kind of a cycle, or if you've already been like out of something for a while, I love it. And I think you're absolutely on the right track, because now you're like on this quest to really figure out what you want to do, what's the life that you want to live. And there's just so much happiness within yourself, and it feels like some kind of a rebirth for real for this energy. And you're just so happy, and you feel like a child again, or you feel young again. You feel like there's so many possibilities, and like you have no limitations. You know, it's kind of like when you're in that like new energy, and you're just like, I can do anything I want to do. Like, there's no one holding me back, there's no restrictions, I'm not tied to anything, there's no commitments. And then you're really like, wow, like it's a clean slate, it's a brand new beginning, and I can do whatever I want to do with my life. And that's why I love this energy, because it's so empowering. There's confidence here, but there's also a lot of self-love and self-worth. It's like you finally understand your self-worth. You understand exactly what you want to do moving forward. Or even if you don't know exactly what you want to do, you know that you want to live an authentic life to what your soul really wants. And that's why I love this, especially if you were living an inauthentic life with somebody up until now. It's like the shift, and you're this little baby that now can do anything. You know, it's like this new seed has been planted, and it can grow as big as you want it to grow, and there's no limitation. So I love that. I am seeing a lot of fire. So like I mentioned, Sagittarius, Aries, and even this is fire. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius could be very significant. Also, fixed signs could be significant, because we see Aquarius here. We just talked about Leo. We have Scorpio here. We also have Cancer and Pisces, but definitely like fixed signs, which makes me feel like you are fixed in your ways, group 3. And that's, again, the energy, because you don't want to compromise. When you're fixed in your ways, you know exactly what you want. And I think you can be flexible to some extent, but it's like you don't really want to compromise that much. You know what you want, and you know it's possible to attain it, so why am I settling? You know what I mean? Like, that's how I view a lot of things. I'm like, well, I know it's possible for me to get what I want, so why would I settle in the process? And I think that's just like this mindset that you have as a fixed sign. So yeah. This is Capricorn. This is Taurus energy. Oh my god, more fixed sign. Wait, no, this is Capricorn. My bad, but Taurus too. You can think about it because I mentioned it. So yeah, fixed signs. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for these mini groups here. Okay, now let's get into your groups. So let's see. Oh, I was gonna say, if that does not resonate with you, then, oh my god, I can't speak. If this did not resonate with you, definitely check out a different group. English is difficult, you guys. I get tongue-tied all the time. But English was actually my third language I ever learned. So, and my family still speaks like our original language, which was my first language I ever learned. So, I mean, it's kind of tough because, I mean, it's fine. I feel like I've done fine up until now as an adult, but I get tongue-tied very easily. Okay. First, let's see what's next in love for group 3. I feel like I kind of know where this group is headed. You're kind of headed into, well, we'll see. What's next in love for group 3? Oh my gosh, I knew it. I knew it was going to be something like this. We have Queen of Swords. We have unbiased judgment, independent, clear boundaries, direct communication, clear-minded, and perspective. Or so, sorry, perceptive. Let's clarify the Queen of Swords here. What's next in love for group 3? Let's clarify the Queen of Swords. 2, should I take both of them? Oh my gosh, look, 2 of Wands, bottom of the deck. That's that. Okay, we have the Page of Swords and then we have the King of Cups. So we can view this as the Queen of Cups as well. It doesn't really have to be king or queen. I mean, I'm viewing all of this as gender neutral. Like, I think this would resonate no matter what you resonate as. But I felt this coming because, you know, especially here, it says emotionally balanced, compassionate, supportive leader, tolerance, control, balance, new ideas, curiosity, thirst for knowledge, new ways of communication, mental energy. So with this combination, it just feels like group 3, what's coming in for your love life is you standing your ground and you knowing exactly what you want, which is pretty much what I just talked about for almost all 3 of these groups. It's like you're in this energy of not settling, and I think like that's just how you are. That's what you are learning. That's what you have evolved into right now. I think with the Queen of Swords, you have very good boundaries right now, especially like emotional boundaries. And I think you're very strict about like who you're letting in and what you are letting in. It also feels like you really have like this vision on the life you want to live, which is much broader than just your love life. So it feels like, you know, like maybe love is just not on your mind, you know, for a lot of you, because you have this idea of like this end goal, which is the life you want to live, and right now you're making sure like nothing's getting in the way of that. And especially with like this energy here, even this, it feels like if something is getting in your way, like a person or a relationship is stopping you from progressing to that life you want to live, you're kind of walking away from it. And I think you realize, you know, there's a lot of maturity with that, because you realize, okay, like if somebody was really meant for me, then they would not interfere with my goals. They wouldn't interfere with my plans. They wouldn't keep me in a box. And I think you realize that like the right person would allow you to do everything you want to do, and also like have that healthy relationship with you. And I think you're realizing that is something that you can't control, right? Like we're compatible with people and then we're not compatible with people. So it's like, I think you're realizing that like when you find yourself incompatible with somebody, you're not forcing it. You're kind of just like in it and like dealing with it for the moment maybe, but then you're kind of realizing, okay, like we're not as compatible. And I think ultimately for group 3, you're not allowing things in your love life to like interfere with your life goals and your lifelong dreams and all these things you're trying to do. And I think because of that, it's caused you to be very emotionally intelligent with that King of Cups here, or Queen of Cups. It's kind of similar. So it's like it's helped you become very emotionally intelligent, because now you're not chasing temporary satisfaction. You're not just chasing dating just to date. You're not chasing love just to love. You know what I mean? Like, you know exactly what you want, and you're not really like looking for less than that. And I think that's amazing. And I think with this group, like, you could be open to finding somebody, but you're not really gonna like, your life is not revolving around, okay, when am I going to find somebody? Because your life is revolving around you and your experiences and your passions and your expansion as a person to get to your goals. You know what I mean? So I think group 3 ultimately kind of has like different priorities right now when it comes to love. And I love the Page of Swords because this is similar to that Page of Wands energy, you know, new ideas, new creativity, new ways of thinking, maybe wanting to start new projects or new hobbies, or just realizing that like you can kind of do anything you want to do in life moving forward, and you don't have to let anybody get in the way of that. So I think you still have that like very down to earth, very curious energy. You know, you want to just kind of, what am I trying to say? I'm getting, oh my god, I just like blanked out for a second. Yeah, you're just in a very curious energy, and I love how it says thirst for knowledge, because you're just kind of trying to maybe learn, maybe do new things, kind of just living that kind of a lifestyle right now and not focusing on relationships. What I love though, I will say, is we have a counterpart here. We have the Queen of Swords and the King of Cups. So this also shows me that for group 3, there is somebody coming in, but they're gonna catch you off guard. And I love that we have this, because the Page of Swords specifically talks about new ideas and like new ways of being intellectually stimulated. So new hobbies, you know, new hobbies, you're learning new things, maybe new courses, a new class that you're taking. And I really feel like as you're kind of just like doing this, like doing your own thing, learning what you want to do, or just doing whatever, you're kind of running into somebody, and it's like when you least expect it. Because I do love that we have a counterpart. So I think Spirit is saying to you, group 3, there is somebody coming in at some point in time. We don't know when. I will ask, I will kind of clarify like when could this happen. But because you're in this energy of just doing you and you're not chasing love, I think you're actually really aligning yourself to a soulmate energy that is aligned with you as well, like somebody who is actually a good match for you. And I feel like you might run into them in some kind of a class setting. I don't think it's work. I think it's something you're doing leisurely. So it's something you're doing for fun or for your own benefit, like just something you enjoy doing. And I think it's a class, or it's something new that you're starting, and this person also happens to be there. So for example, like if you're taking a course at like the community college or something, or if you're taking like a class, like an art class or a cooking class, or if you're just taking a class or a course somewhere, but it's something to do with like your intellectual stimulation. So I don't think this would be like a physical thing. Like I don't think this is a gym. I don't think this is like a workout class, but it's something where you are creative, especially because we also see that Page of Wands, but it's like a class where you're creative or you're learning something like that. This could maybe even be a library or a bookstore, or like something where it's kind of revolving around your mind and about like learning something new. But I think Spirit is saying, because you're finally aligned to this energy, they're actually bringing somebody in, which is so funny, because I was like, I started this off as like, yeah, like you're not really interested, this and that. And I think that, isn't that what they say, like you find your soulmate when you least expect it? So yeah, I do think like two counterparts, like a masculine and a divine feminine energy, are like meeting halfway, and it's overlapping with something here, with this thing here, with that Page of Swords. So then let's see, who is this person? Since we kind of have an idea that somebody is coming in at some point in time, but Spirit is saying what's important for you to be aligned to this union is you need to pursue your own dreams. You need to pursue your own freedom and your own independence. And that's when you're going to be aligned to this person and this union. Because when you're living a life that is inauthentic to your higher self, when you're not pursuing your goals and your dreams and your own fun and excitement, it's like when you're not doing that, then you're actually out of alignment from this person entering your life. Let's see, who is this person? Can we get any traits or qualities or personality or anything on who is this person that's coming in for group number 3? We see that there is a surprise union. Who is this person? Oh my god! It's the Four of Wands. It literally says celebration, joy, harmony, marriage, home, community, and homecoming. That is so crazy because, hold on. I was about to say something before this came out, and that's why I freaked out, because it was very aligned to what I was about to say. What was I saying? I was saying that for you to be aligned, but then I was saying, who is this person coming in? Dang it, I was gonna say something and I totally blanked. That's the second time I'm blanking out for this group, because I was gonna say something for this and I forgot. And then I was about to say something and this came out and now I forgot what I was gonna say. And I almost wonder if Spirit is actually saying, like, Maya, you are saying too much. Like, you're giving them too much information. Because I feel like that happens sometimes when, like, you know, like we're asking Spirit something and, like, I'm channeling and they kind of, like, take it out of my mind because they don't want me to share it with you, because they're like, wait, they're not meant, like, don't spoil something because they're not meant to know just yet. And I feel like this happened twice. And that's so interesting because we were saying this union is going to come about your own freedom and your own independence, and you taking the actions that you want to take, not actions that I'm telling you to take or what you think you should take in order to come into union with your soulmate. But there's this level of freedom and flexibility. And I guess in a way, if I give you too much information, it might, like, jeopardize that, because what this card said, unbiased judgment. And I feel like that's important because when you are like, okay, where's my soulmate? Should I go here or here? Where would they be? How can I run into them faster? How can I speed this up? Then it, like, ruins your judgment. That's so interesting. Okay, I don't know what I was about to say, but I love this, that we have the four of wands for who is this person. Aries is coming up again. And this is literally the card of, like, marriage and engagement and that commitment with this person and a lot of celebration with this person as well. So it's interesting. Let me clarify, because I feel like this doesn't necessarily tell me who is this person, but it more so tells me what your relationship will be like with them. So can we get one more card just to see who is coming in for group 3? Who is coming in for group 3? Or can we clarify the Four of Wands here? Oh my god, that's so funny, because this was on the bottom of the deck when I saw this and I flipped it over and I put it on the bottom of the deck. If you go back a few minutes, you will see that I did that. And I had a feeling, I was like, I think that's important, but I put it back. Okay. This is interesting because, again, we have more intellectual stimulation. So again, I think this is somebody who's very intelligent. I think they love to have intelligent, like, conversations, like, deeper than surface level. I think this is somebody who likes to dissect things, and not physically, maybe they're, like, in the medical field or something, but I think, like, if you guys have a topic, you will really, like, dissect that topic to get to the nitty-gritty of things. I think this is somebody who is, like, very much, like, more than surface level conversations, and I think maybe that's why you both click, because we have that intellectual stimulate, oh my god, I can't say that word now. We have that here, and I see it again here. But I do think that when you guys meet each other, it's gonna click and you're going to, like, actually move very quickly within this connection, because we see the Knight of Swords, and then it's like the moment you meet, you maybe already starting to fall for each other, maybe you're already starting to date, maybe it's like your timeline is going to be so quick to where, like, maybe the average person would date for, like, a couple of years before they get engaged, but maybe you guys get engaged in, like, a year. Like, there's something here to where it's like, you know when you know that this is your person, and I think they feel it too. And I think especially because you've kind of gone through life up until now not finding that person, right? Like, you've never felt like, oh, this is my person. And I think the moment you meet this person, you're like, oh, this is my person. And I think it's going to click very quickly between the two of you. And I think you guys will move very quickly within this connection. I think you're roughly the same age. I'm not really seeing much of an age gap between the two of you. Oh, what I was gonna say, I just remembered, is you could take it, that's so funny. I was like, okay, what I think it is that when you first meet this person, I think you would take it slow when it comes to the friendship. Like, you would, like, maybe not become best friends with them immediately. Like the friendship starts slowly, but as you grow into that friendship, then you're gonna both of you are gonna realize like, oh, I actually have feelings for this person, and then it's gonna be like very quick after that. So I think the build up to the friendship and to the realization might take a while, but then this like union with that Four of Wands is gonna happen very quickly. And I think you both match each other very well, because here it says ambition. Oh my God. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups. Literally divine love, harmony, blissful relationships, alignment, inner happiness, fulfillment, dreams come true, family, contentment, total love and support. I mean, that's what I was about to say is, I think you guys will be incredibly compatible, because I think you're the same. Like, I feel like you're very similar. And remember I said that in the very beginning, like, you have that wisdom that if somebody is really meant for you, they're not going to take away from the life that you want to live. If anything, they'll be similar to the life that you want to live as well. So you're compatible in that sense. And I think that's exactly what's happening. And that's why you both, like, the moment you both realize this is my person, it's going to move very quickly, because you're like, oh, I've never found these qualities in somebody else. And we were saying that in the very beginning for some of you, if you just recently met somebody and you're hesitant, Spirit is saying there's a reason you're hesitant, because this is not your person. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that you're not 100% falling for them. And I think Spirit is saying to you, well, your person is out there. You have not met them yet. I will say for any of these three groups, you have not met this person yet. So then let's get a time frame. A time frame for group 3. When could this possibly happen? When could this union come in for group 3? When will this union come in for group 3? The Death card. Endings, beginnings, change, transformation, transitioning, metamorphosis, end of a cycle. Yeah, I said that. Didn't I say that? I literally said the only way you're going to come into alignment with this person coming into your life is when you realize that you can't like force love, you can't chase love, and that love is just going to come to you. And I feel like that's exactly what this metamorphosis energy is, this ending and this beginning, for you to realize, I'm just going to live my life and do what I want to do, and my person will come in when they want to come in. And I think once you get to this level of like wisdom and this level of healing, especially like emotionally healing, because that's where you start this journey, is when both of you are emotionally healed. So it feels like this is when you would attract this person into your life. So if you're kind of already here, and you're already here with this energy we were talking about in the very beginning, then I think you're already in alignment. And then for some of you, if you're still healing, still kind of working through things, and you're still kind of going through this and you're not necessarily here, then it would just be a little bit farther away. But I think that is what is required to come in first. So then let's see what could potentially speed this up. Is there anything that could potentially speed this up for group 3? Also, group 3, I am rambling for your reading. We're literally hitting 35 minutes. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. So let's see quickly. Last thing. Wait, what was it? Oh, what could potentially speed this up? Ooh. That actually makes a lot of sense. 5 of Cups. Oh, the Knight of Cups. So cute. Okay, so what could potentially speed this up is disconnecting from anybody from your past and truly walking away. That's like the exact same energy. This is both Scorpio energy here. So it's like the moment you realize that a lifestyle, a person, a relationship, or just this inauthentic way of living or an inauthentic relationship, the moment you realize like, I'm done with that, I'm moving on, I'm gonna move on and live my best life, that is when you speed this up. But the longer you stay like energetically connected to somebody, the longer you stay in some kind of denial or regret or sadness, or you're still like clinging on to them and chasing them and all these like crazy things, the longer you stay in that, you are actually pushing away your divine union. But the sooner you kind of heal and kind of realize, you know what, I'm moving on and get into this energy up here, that's what speeds it up. And I love this because it says creativity, romantic, charm, imagination, beauty, knight in shining armor, following the heart, prince charming, and proposals. And the Knight of Cups is being emotionally available. So it's like you need to be emotionally available, you need to be healed from the past, and you need to live an authentic life, to be, to just kind of do whatever you want to do. And that's when you naturally come into alignment with this person. So yeah, you living your best life and your most authentic life is what's going to bring you into alignment quicker. But that's also in reverse would slow you down. So to end off, I have my, what is this called? Oh, I always forget what this is called. Hidden Truth Oracle. If you have somebody on your mind that you want direct channeled messages from, this is your time. So go ahead and think about them, and I will get messages directly from this person. So is there anyone coming through that has direct messages here for group 3? I knew exactly what I was doing. I love you unconditionally. You were the best thing in my life. It feels like somebody knew what they were doing and intentionally sabotaged something. Or they knew that you guys weren't as compatible, something like that. You and I were too young, okay. And I regret lying to you. Okay, group number 3, thank you so much for being here, you guys. And thank you for letting me ramble for 40 minutes. We're literally hitting 40 minutes. So, thank you. I have a Patreon if you want more content, more exclusive content, because the viewers on Patreon actually get to suggest our monthly readings. So Patreon will be linked in the description below. And if you want to book a private reading with me, go ahead and email me. December is a little busy for me, so it is first come, first serve. So if you want to get a reading done, especially like before Christmas, that would be perfect timing. Let me know, email me, and we can figure something out. But thank you so much for everything. Thank you for being here, and have a great rest of your day or night, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Hey guys, if you chose this 3 of Wands with the Mystic Monday Tarot and this Amazonite crystal, this is your group. Hello, group number 4. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you for all of your support, whether you've been here before or if this is your first time. Thank you so much for everything. It really means the world to me. And like I mentioned in the intro, this is all about your current and future love life. So we're going to get started with this deck right here. This is going to give us the energy of your current energy. So that's also going to be our energy check. If you feel like the current energies that we talk about, if it doesn't really sound like you, then definitely check out a different group. But we're going to start off with 3 groups from this. So we're going to look at first if you are in the beginning of some kind of a relationship, maybe you just met somebody, or you're kind of in the early stages of a connection, or if you're totally single and there is like nobody in your life, that would be the beginning energy, which would put you right here. And then we have a middle energy where if you are actively in a relationship with somebody, or you're like energetically connected to somebody, even if you're like in some kind of a separation, but pretty much like your energy is still intertwined with somebody, that will put you in the middle. And then we are going to be looking at the end. So if for some of you, if you've already come out of a relationship, or you are in a full-on separation and you're kind of done with the past, or you're done with this person, or you're for real not hanging out and not energetically connected with anybody, then that will put you at like the end of the cycle. But I've also noticed that you could intertwine. So like maybe you're in the middle and also kind of going into the end of a connection, or maybe you're in the beginning also kind of going into the middle of something. So for some readings, I've noticed it does connect, but others it does not. It is definitely 3 separate energies. So just use your best judgment when you're watching this, and definitely feel free to interpret the cards however you want to, for it to maybe fit you a little bit better, or maybe things that I'm saying, you know, whatever it is, you can interpret it however you want to. So after the energy check, then we're going to go in with this deck right here, and then we're going to look at your future energy in your love life and kind of like what's coming up next. So yeah, and in the very end, after all of that, we're going to go in with this Hidden Truth Oracle. So if there is anybody on your mind that you want direct channeled messages from, we will go in with this deck right here at the very end. So let's get right into it. For group number 4. I recently got this deck and it's a little hard to shuffle. Ooh, Lovers. Okay. Oh my. All right, one more shuffle if I can make it. There we go. Break it down into our 3 groups. First, let's get the current energy of those who are single or at the very beginning of some kind of a connection. All right, we have 2. We have the 2 of Wands, and then we have the Chariot. Let's get a card for those who are in the middle of a connection with somebody, who are in the middle of a relationship or energetically connected or are already dealing with someone. Oh my God, we have the 10 of Cups. And then for those who are at the end of some kind of a cycle, end of the relationship or end of some kind of a cycle. Oh my gosh, even that is extremely positive. Okay, group 4, I love it. I love this energy. This is like really, really cool actually. So let me clarify the cards. Let's clarify the Chariot and the 2 of Wands for those who are in the beginning. We have the 5 of Swords. I almost feel like this is a 5 of Swords in the reverse. Okay, let's clarify the 10 of Cups, which is incredibly happy, incredibly, like, that's an amazing card to get if you're with somebody right now. Let's clarify the 10 of Cups. Knight of Crystals, so that's just the Knight of Pentacles. And let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles here for those who are at the ending or have come out of a relationship. Let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles here. Oh wow, the King of oh my God, that's the same thing. We have the Queen of Pentacles and then the King of Pentacles. So you already have some kind of a counterpart energy going on, Queen, for those of you who have ended a connection. So that's very interesting. I love this. Even the fact that this is actually a female, like on this image where normally the Knight of Crystals would be a masculine energy on the card. I love that it is like a very beautiful looking image of a woman and a feminine energy. So that already kind of shifts the way that I view this card. Oh my God, look at that. 9 of Cups bottom of the deck. Okay, let's get into it. Group number 3, I love this energy. And I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with your intro card of the 3 of Wands. An incredibly positive image because I love that it's like so vibrant and colorful and it just feels so loving and like so adventurous, and it just feels fun. It feels like a good, fun, lively energy from that intro card. So I'm going to break it down into 3 sections. I'm going to put the timestamps below in case you want to jump around or you don't want to listen to all 3. Feel free to find your group, but I'm going to go in order this way. So for those of you who are single, I love this. It definitely feels like you're single. It does not feel like you have anyone on your mind, especially because the 3 of Wands was your intro card and then you have the 2 of Wands as your energy. And with the Chariot, this is a very fast forward moving energy, and with the 2 of Wands this talks about expansion and options. This is also a very optimistic energy, somebody who has goals, like big goals, big dreams. This could also talk about travel and just expansion in that way. So like new cities, new countries, just like exploring new things, gaining new experiences. Especially with this being Aries, it feels like you're in a very confident energy within yourself. And that's what feels like you're very single. It feels like you don't have anyone on your mind and you're kind of just doing you. And you're also not really looking for love right now for this group. With this, these are both masculine energies that are coming through. So it feels like you're in a very like action oriented energy in your life. You're in this goal getter oriented energy. I just saw 444 on the time. And I just feel like you're just in your masculine energy, whether you identify as a woman or as a man, it doesn't matter. You're in a masculine energy because you're hustling. Like you're a hustler right now. You're getting things done. You're moving forward. You're building this foundation for yourself. You're like literally planting the seeds for the life you want to live. And I feel like you are getting things done like with your own hands, or you are putting yourself out there into the world for new opportunities and new adventures. And it feels like that's just your energy. And especially with the Chariot, it just kind of feels like nothing is getting in your way right now. Like the Chariot, you know, it's like a chariot that's being pulled by horses, and it's like just it's going straight and like nothing is getting in the way of that. I feel like for those of you who are single, you're very spiritually aligned to like what you want, but also to who you are and to who your higher self is. I think you're very spiritually evolved. You probably have a lot of wisdom. I think you've probably healed a lot because it feels like there's no baggage. There's no like excess baggage that's weighing you down. And you're in this very independent energy. Like you know who you are. You're coming through as very mature, very spiritually evolved, and you're probably just working on career or finances or just your goals and your vision. You have a vision of the life you want to live, and that's all that's occupying your mind right now. I don't think you're really seeking love. You're not chasing love, and I think you're happy to be single right now. I'm sure, you know, you're human. Maybe from time to time you want emotional fulfillment from somebody, or you want to like experience things with somebody, but I think that even if those feelings come in, they probably go away relatively quickly, or it's like you don't let those feelings cloud your judgment. I think you're wise enough to realize like, yeah, like, you know, I have feelings here and there, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want a committed relationship. And maybe you're into casual relationships. I could definitely see that as, you know, if that's something you're into, I could see that being a part of this energy as well, kind of like no strings attached, no commitment. But yeah, I really like this. With the 5 of Swords here, this immediately made me feel like you don't care about what other people think, especially when it comes to like pressure. So peer pressure, family pressure, traditional aspects of like family or lifestyle or even society. It feels like you're really kind of carving your own path and you don't care like what people say. And I think it's because you're so sure of who you are as a person. You're so secure within yourself and you're so secure within your vision and where you are taking your life. And especially with the Chariot, and you see this person is controlling the Chariot. They are driving the Chariot. So that really feels like you are behind the steering wheel of your life. Like you are controlling the wheel. You are navigating where you want your life to go, and you are in control. So it really feels like you're not allowing society or family or friends or just anybody to like pressure you into thinking you want something that you know you don't want, or like you're not even like criticism. If somebody's like criticizing you, or if society is trying to make you feel bad or whatever it is, I think you're not taking it seriously. When I first saw this, I thought it was the 4 of Swords because I didn't realize she's holding a sword. So I originally saw this as the 4 of Swords, which talks about this peace of mind and you're very content with your life. And then when I saw this, that this person is holding a sword, it kind of just felt like that's almost like you holding your power, you holding your personal power and feeling at peace within yourself and realizing like, hey, I don't care what you say. I don't care what anybody says. I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm in control of my life. And yeah, I think I mean, I'm sure maybe you're open to a relationship. I'm not really getting that much information if you're open to a commitment or not. But I think this energy boiled down. You're single. You're not really looking for anything. You have a vision of what you want your life to be. And I think that's what you're pursuing first. But you're very happy with this. You're very content you have a lot, you, what am I trying to say? Yeah, you're very at peace with this energy here. Okay. Excuse me, I have allergies and like I am like congested a little bit. So now let's switch into, for those of you who are in the middle of a connection, holy cow, are you like about to get married? Is this your person? We literally have the 10 of Cups with a family, you know, and obviously like maybe kids and maybe like that traditional commitment of marriage and kids and all of that is not what you want, and that's fine. But I do think no matter what it is, this person that you are with, this is your person. And if you don't agree with that, and if you think that like the person you're with is actually not your person, or you're having doubts about your current partner, then I don't think this is your group, because I mean, this is very straightforward. And this really tells me with the 10 of Cups, you are absolutely head over heels in love with your person. You both are living a very harmonious life together. And you are probably like either getting engaged or getting married, or there's like some evolution in your relationship coming up very soon. And I think you're very happy with it, especially like I said, with this being a feminine energy on this card, it feels like you have realized this is my person. Like I want to commit to this person. I want to get married to this person, or I want a life with this person, especially with the way she's holding the crystal. You know, it feels like I'm ready to commit to you. I'm very happy with our dynamic. I'm happy with our relationship and with our life. And you're like, this is my person. And yeah, I mean, very harmonious, 10 out of 10 emotional satisfaction and emotional fulfillment. And for some of you, your family is expanding. Like maybe you are expecting kids soon, or it's like you're moving in together with this person. Maybe your commitment is being taken to the next level. You're getting engaged or getting married. I'm seeing 1111 on the time as I'm saying that. So this feels amazing. And I think 100%, if that does not sound like your energy, then maybe stick around for the ending. Because, you know, say for some of you, if you kind of just got out of something with someone, then stick around for this. But I think that if you are actively in a relationship with somebody, you are absolutely like soulmates. You know, like this is your person forever. So I think you're either in that or you're not. And, you know, I'll leave that up to your own judgment. But this is so nice. And I think some of you could actually have kids already, or somebody here has kids, especially because there's just kids here. It just feels like whether you have kids or they have kids, it's like your family is getting bigger. Maybe one day you might have kids of your own. I don't know. I'm not really seeing that far ahead. But just because I see kids and they look grown. Like these kids, they don't look like babies. They look like grown kids. So it feels like maybe somebody has kids from a previous relationship coming into this relationship, and like you are becoming a family in some way. I love that. I think this is very straightforward. There's really not much more for me to say. I do think for those of you, if you've been in relationships before that were not good and they were not healthy, I think you're just like so head over heels happy that you found a healthy partner. Whether you are masculine or a feminine energy, I just think in the past, maybe for some of you, you did not have good experiences within a relationship. And that's again this very confident energy here of somebody being like, wow, like I finally found somebody good and I'm gonna hold on to it. Okay, and then going on to the end of a cycle. So I think this would be the energy that somebody you have come out of a relationship, and I would say that the relationship you came out of, or the cycle that you're ending, that relationship just wasn't for you. That was not your person, and I think you recognize that and you came out of that. So that's another reason this could still be your group, even if like you're out of it with somebody. But this feels like you are out of it. Like you don't have somebody in your life right now. For those of you that are at the end, you are single, but you have come out of maybe a long-term relationship or just a relationship where you gave a lot of time and effort to somebody, and it feels like you are just taking it slow, kind of working on rebuilding yourself, rebuilding your life, rebuilding your finances or your career or your foundation for yourself, just rebuilding yourself. That's what this energy feels like. And you're doing it alone. But what's so nice here is that we have a counterpart. Again, there's counterparts here, there's counterparts here. So this group 4, I mean, a lot of you are very much in alignment to your soulmate. But Spirit is saying this person, your King of Crystals, the King of Pentacles to your Queen, or vice versa, it's not who you just came out of a relationship with. So I want to make that very clear. It's not the person from your past. This counterpart energy is coming in because you walked away from the person that was not for you. It's because you walked away and you started to heal and you started to rebuild your life and started to focus on yourself again, focus on your own well-being and your own healing. That's when you are coming into alignment with the person you're actually meant to be with. So I want to clarify that for this group that has come out of a connection, your soulmate is not the person you are with. It is somebody new. I don't think you know them. I don't think you met them yet. Maybe for some of you, you have. I don't think so. It feels very like, it feels like there's a timeline between you rebuilding yourself and this person coming into your life. So it doesn't feel immediate, but they are on the horizon because you chose to walk away and chose to better yourself, better your life, and you chose to focus on yourself and just rebuild yourself. So now you're getting the person that you deserve, literally the King of Pentacles to your Queen of Pentacles, or vice versa. It's like this person is on your level and they are your soulmate. Like you're finally attracting your soulmate into your life because you walked away from somebody. But yeah, continue the rebuilding phase because that is important and that is what has to come first before this person comes into your life, but you're definitely on the right track with that. For those of you who are single, this also feels like you just protecting your energy, you know, and not just giving your energy away to anybody freely. You're not like, you know what I mean? Like you're really protecting yourself and protecting your love, and you're not just letting anybody come in. I think you have standards, you have boundaries, and that's really good. I think Spirit is saying that's really good for you. Okay, let's go ahead and see what is next in love for group 4. What's next in love for group 4? What's next in group 4's love life? Oh my gosh, we have the 9 of Pentacles. I love that there's this peacock here. Let's clarify the 9 of Pentacles and what's next in group 4's love life. The World. Okay, there is some kind of like leveling up in your love life that is coming in, which is very nice because the World talks about the end of a cycle and that a new cycle is shifting. Like you're shifting into a new cycle in your love life. So for those of you, like if you're in a relationship with somebody, I said that earlier, that you're like evolving into a higher level of commitment, or it's like you're stepping into the next stage with your partner. So that would be like, oh, the garage. That would be like ending one cycle and stepping into the next cycle. And then even with this, you know, you ended a cycle by walking away from somebody or detaching from a past relationship and a past person, and you're stepping into this new cycle of healing. And then for guys that are single, it feels like there's something shifting, you know, in your love life. I'm not sure what it is, because I was saying you're happy being single, so maybe it's possible somebody is coming into your life, into your love life. And I love that the 9 of Pentacles is here too, because this talks about independence, self-sufficiency. I think all 3 groups here, I think for group 4 in general, you're a very independent person. Very independent, very self-sufficient, and especially when it comes to like your own foundation, your finances, or just like your stability here on earth. I think you're very stable, and I think something is evolving in your love lives, but you're going to, it's like evolving on top of your stability, or it's like you will remain stable throughout this situation. It's like something like that. Let me just clarify one more time what this 9 of Pentacles is talking about. Can you clarify the Nine of Pentacles here? Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune talks about destiny. It talks about good luck. It talks about divine timing, divine intervention. So it's funny because I'm trying to get something specific about what's happening next in your love life, and they're giving me cards that are not specific, where we can't really predict it. The Wheel of Fortune is very unpredictable because it's the divine. They're doing whatever they want to do and whatever they need to do. So I think the energy here is, or that what's coming in for your love life is there's a huge shift coming in. It is a positive shift. It is helping you evolve in your love life. They don't want you to know exactly what it is, but maybe use your own intuition to kind of figure out what that is. But there's a lot of divine timing and divine intervention, and they want you to release the need to control your love life right now. There's a need for you to really go with the flow and don't control things. Don't try to like control anything, because it feels like then there would be some restrictions, or it just wouldn't be like as smooth of a situation. And I think with the Nine of Pentacles, they definitely want you to continue to do what you're doing, focus on yourself, build the life you want to live. You know, don't forget about yourself in the process of a relationship. I think that's very important. But for like this group, definitely feels like continue to work on yourself, because the universe is bringing you something big in this new cycle that you're stepping into. For this group, it feels like same thing. Continue to do what you're doing, but there is a massive shift and you are evolving within your relationship to the next level. But they don't want you to control it and to let it happen naturally. Same thing for this group. I mean, I think this makes the most sense for like this group and this group, because there's more independence on this, because these two groups seem single. But same thing for this group, especially because you've just been doing your thing. You're not chasing love. You're not looking for it. I definitely think as you grow within your independence, and especially within like who you are and what you're doing here on earth, as you're like solidifying that, you are stepping into this new chapter where there is a big shift within your love life. So since we're not getting anything specific, let me ask a more broader question of who or what is potentially coming in for group 4's love life. Oops. That was a lot. Who or what is potentially coming in for group 4's love life? Wow, the Hierophant. You see how we're getting a lot of major arcana, and like they're almost like not avoiding my direct questions, but they're like not wanting to give you a direct answer. So the Hierophant definitely talks about a higher level of commitment. So again, I think that no matter what stage you're in, you are finding somebody in your life that gives you the need to want to commit to them. Or like, especially like for this example, you're in a good relationship with somebody, and now you feel like you can move up one level in commitment. Whatever that is, it doesn't have to be huge, right? It could be something little. Maybe you're just making it official with this person. Like maybe you're not even like committed yet, but you're gonna make it official. Maybe you've been official and you're gonna move in together. Whatever it is, for this group, it feels like you're just kind of going up one level because it feels right, and this is a healthy connection so far. And then for these groups, it does feel like the universe is kind of taking you somewhere. There's a reason you walked away from a connection that wasn't meant for you. There's a reason you haven't found your person yet, and you're so determined to just do your own thing, because the universe is planting these seeds, because there is some big shift coming in. But there's a lot of divine timing. But they want you to know there is some higher level of commitment, or there is like a person coming into your life that is worthy of a higher level of commitment. Wow, another major arcana. The amount of divine feminine energy I see here is really, really amazing. Wow, there's a lot of abundance. There's a lot of happiness coming in. And this higher level of commitment, it almost feels like exactly what you've always wanted, with like the exact person that you've always wanted. And again, I don't think a lot of you know this person unless you're already with them. I think these two groups, this is somebody else, somebody different, somebody new. But it feels like you're finally finding something in your love life you've always wanted. And it makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good about life. It makes you feel good about this person. But so many major arcana. So it really feels like divine timing, divine intervention. So what was I gonna ask next? My readings have been a little different. For those who have gotten more specific, like, yes, somebody's coming in, I've been asking different questions. For this, it's much more broad. So for the group that is single, let's see, for the group that is single here, is there anything potentially coming in for singles? Anything potentially coming in for singles? Oh my God. 10 of Pentacles. And this, you know what I love about this 2 of Pentacles? It's balance. It's literally an infinity sign. Whereas in traditional tarot, you know, I know I asked about singles, but I'll take this for everybody because I feel like this matches really well with this energy that I've been seeing with that 10 of Cups. In traditional tarot, the 2 of Pentacles energy, wow, even this is balanced with Justice, bottom of the deck. 6 of Wands, ultimate happiness, emotional fulfillment. 4 of Swords, peace. Let me put that 6 of Wands on top. And this 6 of Wands looks very similar to that 3 of Wands that you guys chose as your intro card. What I was saying is in traditional tarot, this 2 of Pentacles, it's like a person is juggling 2 things. So one is on top of the other, and it's kind of imbalanced. So the fact that I was talking about balance and that we literally have the scales balance here, that is crazy. But this feels very harmonious because it's balanced. You're equals. And I think that's what Spirit is trying to say to you, especially, I guess for all of you, but especially for those of you, if you walked away from somebody that was not your equal and it was not a harmonious situation, and for those of you who, again, haven't found anybody yet, it feels like the right person hasn't come into your life yet. Because I think when you do find the right person, you would be in this energy. This 10 of Cups with, okay, this is my person, this is my soulmate, this is everything I could have wanted in a relationship. Even with the Empress here, all this major arcana, and then the 10 of Pentacles, which literally talks about a family legacy, happily ever after, long-term commitment, long-term potential, long-term happiness. You literally have 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. So I would say for all of you, for this group, it really feels like this is just a divine union that is coming in with your person, with your forever person. And I don't say that lightly because I don't say that often, but it feels like a lot of you are very mature and you've done a lot of the work to get here. And I think that's why a lot of you are here, or some of you are here, because you've done the work and you're in your soulmate relationship. And then for others of you, this relationship is coming in just in different phases of your lives because this is a general reading. So yeah. And with this, with the scales being balanced, it feels incredibly harmonious. And then with this, and then the higher level of commitment, and this being about like the legal system, it really feels like marriage, or like some kind of like a legal commitment, or some kind of a long-term balanced commitment with somebody if marriage is not your thing. And even the Empress is like the mother in tarot, and she is that nurturing feminine energy. So yeah, like a family, like nurturing a family out of this, I think is definitely possible. And we even talked about that earlier. And it's like you're just going to find so much happiness because you didn't settle for this. You know, I think for all of you in this group, you're very spiritually evolved and you're very spiritually aligned. Especially those of you that have walked away from somebody recently, like you are aligned. You were out of alignment with somebody from the past, but when you chose to walk away to rebuild yourself, that's when you found alignment. And I think the reason this came out for when I said for those of you that are single, it's because you haven't met this person yet. So I think Spirit is giving you that confirmation that you have not met this person yet, and you will very soon. And I think for this group, we've already talked about the fact that you're in some kind of a relationship that is going to last a very long time. So I think this almost just gives you that that extra confirmation. But I think you already know that because you already have your person. I think this is more confirmation for the people that don't have a person right now. So let me just quickly ask, is there anything that group 4 could do to speed up meeting this person? For those of you who have not met your person yet, is there anything that could speed up meeting this person? For group 4, for those that have not met this person. Wow, you literally have the Emperor and the Empress. You have the King and Queen of Pentacles. You have the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the World, the Hierophant. You have the Empress and the Emperor. You have the Chariot and Justice. Oh my God. Aries season could be significant because we talked about Aries up there. And Aries is the Emperor. So Aries season, you could be meeting this person. Let me clarify what could speed up group 4 meeting this person. I think for almost everyone in this group 4 energy, when you actually do meet this person and you are like kind of getting into a relationship with them, I think all of you would be here. You would find yourself in this energy. So this is almost like a future energy for some of you, but others of you, you're just on a faster timeline. So those of you, you're already in this right now, and this is your current timeline. But for others of you, I think this is predicting a future timeline that you will be in once you do get into alignment with this person. But let's clarify. When did that flip? Let's clarify what could speed up this person coming in. Depth. Temperance, bottom of the deck. 2 of Cups, another soulmate card. And remember when we split the deck earlier when I was trying to shuffle? Was it this group? I saw the Lovers for one of these circle cards. So yeah, another soulmate card. I will leave it out. What could help you speed up meeting this person is your independence, and also you kind of taking charge of your life, which we already talked about for both of these energies that have not met their person yet. You're taking control of your life, doing what you want to do, you know, not settling, not chasing. And then here you walked away from somebody who was not meant for you and you're rebuilding your life. So I think that is the energy that you need to be in, is like truly take control and heal and kind of have that ending, or even if it's like a emotional ending, or it could be like a spiritual rebirth, something like that. It just to put you in this energy of following your true desires, your passions, and really like taking charge of your life. I think that is what brings you closer to the soulmate union, because then you're not wasting time with somebody who's not meant for you, because then you're opening yourself up to actually find the right person. Same thing here. You're not wasting your time. You're doing what you want to do, living your life. And then that's how you attract this person in, because you're not wasting your time with somebody else. That's what it essentially comes down to. It's like you need to kind of be single and not waste your time with the wrong people for you to really attract this soulmate to come into your life. And I think that's what this group did. That's how they got here. And stay patient. Again, I think that's the same message. Like, don't rush it. Stay patient. And your soulmate is coming in for you, group 4. I think this is probably one of the groups, one of the only groups where it feels like there's so much divine timing, divine orchestration, and to where I legitimately feel like this is a soulmate and not just like a relationship, but this is like the relationship for you. Okay, so if you have anyone on your mind that you want to get direct messages from, go ahead and think about them, and I will shuffle and we will channel. And let's see who has something to say to group 4. Just being near you is intoxicating. Okay, take that however Direct messages for group 4. Who has a direct message for group 4? You speak to me through music. Ah. I want to be more than friends. Okay. I remember every detail of that day. This is somebody definitely like thinking about you, reminiscing about you. Okay, this deck just like, okay, first of all, that's crazy because the deck like split open and I saw this. I can't stop thinking about you. As I was just saying, this person is thinking about you. And then, okay, some fell on the ground. But then I'm gonna take this one. Ah! You came closer than anyone. Okay, group 4, thank you so much for letting me give you this reading, you guys. I'm so excited for this group. I just love this energy. It's so nice, so cool. So thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in exclusive content, I have a Patreon where the viewers get to suggest the monthly readings. So if you want to see personalized content and you want to like suggest reading ideas and stuff, you should definitely check out Patreon. There are so many videos over there because I've been posting on there for a while. So if you just want more content from me and to just like connect with me on a more personal platform, Patreon is the platform for you. And if you want to book a private reading with me, go ahead and email me. December is going to be first come first serve because it's the holidays. I'm a little busier this month than usual, so hopefully closer to the beginning of the month would be great. But if you want a reading with me, email me and I'll get you down on my list. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your support. Take good care of yourself, you guys, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.